Another awesome stream. I hope everybody's having a fantastic night. Grab your popcorn, grab your snacks, get yourself a nice beverage or refreshment. I've got mine. My buddy who came back from Japan told me that in Japan, everyone drinks one, which I'm sure is an overstatement, but where he was going, everybody drank whiskey and seltzers. So tonight, we are having a whiskey seltzer. I never have a whiskey seltzer. That would have been the weirdest thing for me to consider trying, but it actually is really smart. You hydrate yourself with a seltzer, get a little bit of that bubbly, and they drink them in talls, which we made ourselves a tall drink. And yeah, it just works. You got the whiskey to take off the edge, and it gets kind of diluted by the seltzer. So yeah, Japanese culture inspired whiskey seltzer. That's what we're drinking. Just a single, not a double, nothing crazy, just to loosen up. I'm a pretty high functioning individual, I like to think. Yo, Chad, how we doing? Tuscan, how we doing? Joe, how we doing? I'm a pretty high functioning individual, and honestly, before I poured this, I was like, do you need to do this? You have a lot of stuff going on. But you know what? I do need to do this. I was off today and I spent all day grinding in my own way, picking up Pokemon stuff, and then I got home and listed stuff. And Manuel, what's going on? I was just talking about how my buddy who went to Japan, how one thing a lot of people drink out there is whiskey seltzers tall, just club soda and whiskey. Just sounds weird. No one ever gets that at the bar, right? No one ever comes in and orders it, but he ordered it the other night when he brought me that Gengar plushie, which I guess I didn't show you guys because unless you're in the Discord, because I showed it in the video that I'm uploading for tomorrow. We have tomorrow's video is going to be very special. It entails everything I did today. Today was a nutty day. I honestly should have spent my whole day off with my family, and feel like I'm kind of letting them down in some ways. Like I'm doing very well in a lot of respects, but my time management is just so tough to get that down. And these damn shops are so close by now. Yeah, it definitely helps take the edge off. And yeah, I've just been running around all day today, and I just thought we're gonna do a stream, but I am definitely gonna kick back and relax a little bit. After this, I'm gonna probably watch a movie or something with Diana, and then after she goes to bed, I will go back to work. I will start listing stuff again. I've got a seltzer. So my buddy who went to Japan, told me about. Ooh, excuse me. Told me about whiskey seltzers. How they're like really big in Japan. How people just like drink them like water. So I wanted to try that. Very refreshing. Honestly, great. Barely taste the whiskey at all because it's like so diluted. Okay, let's get into it. Dude, there's so much to talk about, honestly. The more that I've gotten kind of back into the hobby and fully, submerged myself in it, dude, there's so much stuff going on, right? Legendary collection reverse hollows. Are they a good buy? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I saw a couple in the shop today and I wanted to pick them up. They were PSA 5 and PSA 6. It was like reverse Zapdos and reverse something else. Those are always a good pickup. Always a good pickup. Like, I mean, depends what the price is, right? You want to get it close to market. But another thing is like, if it's a reputable shop, even if they price it a little higher, like everything goes up in value in this hobby. And I'm realizing I made a lot of mistakes recently, guys. I made a lot of mistakes. I trusted the stock market way too much, and I had all of my money pulled out of it on my birthday weekend, and it was a blessing. I should have kept all of it pulled out of the market. I am now down 50% on my portfolio that had my life savings. What's interesting about that is that I have so much more value in Pokemon, and Pokemon has just outpaced everything. Time and time again, just proven me that there's no better hobby to have. So here I am back again after taking substantial losses in the market and after dabbling in paintball as a hobby and making money off of it too, but so much effort, so much work, a little bit of stress sprinkled in there too, and I still love it. But there's nothing like TCG. It's not just Pokemon, it's TCG in general. Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, Dragon Ball Z, which is fucking awesome, okay? One Piece. It's all amazing, guys. All of it's amazing. And it's kind of nice to see across the board TCGs are doing well. But Pokemon has always been there for me, and I think this time it's really hitting home that like this hobby has really paved a way for me financially. As much as I don't like to admit it, it has given me a lot of financial stability and instability, but that's my own problem from not doing enough research or buying into something too heavily. But yeah, this hobby's amazing, man. We've got February 8th. We have, 30th anniversary coming. There's going to be a huge Super Bowl commercial. There is a teaser with Jigglypuff. We're going to talk about that in tomorrow's video. I have it all ready. It's a 40-minute long video. It's a big one. But that's going to be a great video tomorrow. And it got me thinking, I wonder if the Phantasmal Flames Wigglytuff or Mega Evolution, I think it's Phantasmal Flames Wigglytuff. Which one is it? Hold on. I've got so many duplicates in here. I'm starting to buy a lot of duplicates. No, that's the Vulpix. I'm a big believer in the Vulpix too. The Vulpix is sick. Okay, here we go. This guy right here. I think that this card is going to go bonkers. And I'm also going to start doing YouTube shorts. Every day I'm going to try to do one where I just talk about one card that's just a modern card. I'm not going to do shorts flexing vintage grails or anything like that. I'm going to talk about modern cards that I think have potential so that everybody can enjoy it. But yeah, this Wigglytuff, I think because there's that teaser trailer with Jigglypuff, I think this Wigglytuff might be affected. I also think every other Wigglytuff might be affected. Obviously, you can't know anything for sure. I'll just put that away another time. Obviously, we can't know anything for sure, but the way people in this hobby react when stuff like that, when we get any piece of news or any kind of update, I think we bet on it, and I think people are going to bet on that teaser with Jigglypuff. And it also is like, oh my God, like you shouldn't do that because who knows what else is going to be in the commercial and the Pokemon, and the latest, news we get or videos we get. There could be all kinds of Pokemon in there, and maybe it's just Jigglypuff in the beginning. But I wonder if Jigglypuff being in the beginning of this teaser, this trailer, if it'll go crazy. So we're going to kind of talk about that tomorrow and start a discussion on that tomorrow. Tusk, Mike, first edition Charizards and graded are taking off. Oh, absolutely. Oh my God. The Dark Charizard, God bless my heart. I should have bought that Dark Charizard back when it was $8,000. Back when it was $8,000, like literally 2 months ago. But I was messing around with paintball and it's like I don't hate paintball for being another distraction. It was nice to take a step back from this hobby as it got crazier and crazier and crazier. But I forgot to have fun in this hobby, and now I'm like, I am spending a lot of money, but I'm also learning to have fun with it again, and like learning like, there's a lot of cheap artwork that's great, and I'm learning that it doesn't have to be about doing what everybody else is doing. Like what I'm doing works for me, and I'm close to these shops now, and so that's a lot of my content is just going to be pickups and hunting for these cards. So I'm having fun again, and like, damn, it's been a long time since I felt like I was really having fun in this hobby. And part of that is due to the fact that I'm able to spend so much money on singles versus grail cards. With grail cards, I could only get one, 2 at a time for a month, maybe 3, maybe 4, but it would kill me financially. Now, I can sustainably just keep buying cards from the card shop nonstop. And it's stuff for my eBay. It's stuff that for my PC. I get to collect what I want. It's really, really nice. But obviously, I'm not selecting what I'm going after. I'm just picking up whatever they have in the shop. And you guys are in for a treat. There's so much cool stuff that we're going to show tomorrow. Some stuff is even on my shelving already right now that you guys haven't seen me pick up. Not that it really matters, but yeah, dude. First ed Charizards. Dude, Charizard, any Charizard. Charizard is always king. Now, Oh my God, Gempire, great Instagram channel, great guy. Um, he's actually the reason I have a first edition Shining Charizard because I asked him, I knew it was him bidding on it, and I was like, yo, can you back off on the Charizard? You already have one. I just want to get a copy for myself. And he backed out of that auction for me so that I get the card. So he's a fucking G. He is the reason I have that card. And then I was able to get it for 10 grand. But he just posted something and it shows, Doctor, one of our Discord members, he posted Gempire's post. Anyways, I'm just going off the rails. He posted Gempire's post in our Discord showing like all of the most trending Pokemon and like how they've gone up in value. And the Charizard actually surprisingly didn't really stack up very well against a lot of other Pokemon, right? Pikachu, way up there. Pikachu's way up there. Pikachu is what people should really be going after. And I love Pikachu. And speaking of Pikachu, right, I don't want to spoil anything, but of course I picked up several Pikachus today. I'm very excited about. I also picked up a Japanese Grail card for people in here that like Japanese. I'm finally starting to get into Japanese. Not like full on, but if I find stuff I like in the future, I'm just gonna pull the trigger. Um, uh, let's see. I just bought a PSA 6 Zapdos. That's why I'm asking. Crazy that you saw that recently. I literally just saw a reverse Zapdos in the shop, and I wanted it. Believe me, I wanted it. But I picked up so much stuff. Guys, I went crazy today. And for everything I spent today, it would have gotten me one Grail card, maybe. So I got so much more. It was just so much fun buying all that stuff and really having a big stack of inventory and new stuff that I'd never seen before. Some really cool stuff that I'd never seen before. Um, have you looked at any other TCGs? I've got some Dragon Ball and it's doing really well. Yeah, so I will do this spoiler. I already posted this today, so the Discord knows it, but I'm officially getting into One Piece. So I picked up this Monkey D. Luffy or Luffy, right? I should probably learn how to say that properly, right? One Piece has never been my thing, but I think that the card quality is really great. Now, and that one is perfectly centered. Now you want to. Then again, my eyesight's terrible, so might have to look that over again. Now you want to talk about Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball Z is fucking amazing, right? I really want to get into Dragon Ball Z. I have no idea where to even start. No idea where to start. And that's daunting, right? It's like getting into a whole other TCG all over again. With One Piece, I feel like it's pretty easy, right? I went in the shop. They had one shop had One Piece. My other one that has a lot of other stuff didn't have it. So it's cool. These shops have different things. But the One Piece was obvious. I mean, you look at the One Piece and you're like, bing, bang, boom. Those are the ones that are cool. You know, it's very easy to notice. And the artwork is insane. But Dragon Ball, all of the characters are amazing. You can have an amazing alt art Piccolo, amazing alt art Vegeta, amazing alt art Goku, amazing alt art Gohan, Frieza, um, Brawly. Like literally anything in Dragon Ball is gonna look sick. So that's why it would be super hard for me to navigate. Now, to be fair, it's probably not that difficult. You're like Dragon Ball Z, alt art PSA 10. That's probably all you need to put in because it's such a fresh TCG still. And I actually have a buddy that pulled like all the best ones early on, and he has them all raw. And honestly, I was like, nah, I'm not really that interested. Looking back, because I was so heavy into Pokemon at the time, looking back, I'm pretty sure he sold it all back to his shop. Like he pulled it all, made a ton of money, sold it all back to the shop. Like months later when it exploded. Um, I should have picked up all of his Dragon Ball. That would have been a really, really good place for me to start. Um, Phantasmal. Oh yeah, you're talking about the Wigglytuff. I'm probably so behind on chat, like always. But yeah, dude, I love Dragon Ball. Jajawa, what's good, brother? Tuscan. Thoughts on the 30th anniversary box? I thought it was really strange that they didn't just set it back for the actual set release. I get that it was a Pokemon Day thing. Um, 30th anniversary box. My thoughts on that are like nothing special. To me personally, nothing special. Jajawa, I heard there's a Pokemon Retro Collection coming out. Perhaps they'll release Pokemon Pink, the original idea, before Yellow. Whoa, get out of here. No way. No way. I don't know what's going on with Logan Paul right now, but there seems to be a lot of content about him doing a new scam. How many scams does this guy get away with? Like, I don't understand. I don't understand how he could be, like, such a shit person and none of it, like, there's nothing holding up against him, right? How is that possible that someone isn't suing him successfully? Like, if he's done all these horrible things, um, call me ignorant, but I'm watching videos. I'm trying to learn like what he's doing right now that's so bad. Um, so yeah, if you guys have anything on that, please let me know like what the biggest thing that Logan Paul is doing right now. From what I understand, the Pikachu illustrator, from what I understand, people did not get paid out from his thing that he ended, his liquid marketplace. People did not actually get payouts, which is fucked up. I don't know how that's possible, how you could scam people like that and actually get away with it. At the same time, like, I would have never trusted his liquid marketplace to begin with, just because I know what kind of person he is, or at least I like to think I know who he is. He's a businessman. Maybe a bad businessman. Maybe, like, I'm not going to get political here, but like some other businessmen we may know that possibly may run the country. Like, you got to know better than like trusting someone like that, like going in on a card like that. Now, if I wanted the rarest card in the world, who am I going to get it from? You're going to get it from Logan Paul. That's where you got to get it from. So that is the reality right now. What's crazy is if those people never got those payouts on Liquid Marketplace and he's able to sell this card and they still don't get payouts. Like, I don't know, maybe they'll sell this card in auction and some of that money will go to the people that actually like needed that money to be paid back. I doubt it, but it would be interesting. Also, you guys, I'll be talking about this in a day or so as well. The Pikachu Illustrator is at 6 point something million right now. So it is past that 5 million threshold. I think really interested to hear what you guys think the Pikachu Illustrator is going to go for, because that is obviously the biggest card right now. It's the biggest piece of news right now, I feel like. Bobby, did I ever tell you the definition of insanity? Yeah, it's doing the same thing over and over again, which I tend to do. So I'm definitely insane myself a little bit. 2014 Moon, your eyes are beautiful. Thank you. I appreciate that. You know, not enough people tell me that. Split Earth Bazaar. Dude, I forgot what your old name was, but I know exactly who this is because of the Sky Rage Alakazam. Dude, good to see you in here. I hope you're doing well. Jajawa, the Blaziken alt art in Japanese is superior because it doesn't cover up Zangoose's face with the attack. It's superior because it doesn't cover up Zangoose's face. BC TCG, yo, what's good? Doctors in the building, what's good? Split Earth Bazaar, what's good? Android 13, yo, the androids are sick. Majin Vegetables. I liked your car video. You got any turbos or performance upgrades under the hoods? Nope, just full exhaust and headers. I've done that to both M3s, and then the C63 has a just a deleted resonator. That thing's a beast with nothing. It's just a beast. That's it. Haven't done a car video in a while. Again, doing car videos, I feel like too much effort. Too much effort. I'm a car guy. People can know that, but too much effort. Paintball, same thing. Too much effort. I love it. People are going to know that I love it, but too much effort. Pokemon is too easy, and I'm getting too old to spend more time on other hobbies. But it was important for me to kind of try, fail, learn what I like, learn what I don't like, and get to a point where I kind of feel like, okay, I know what I would be missing out on, and I would rather just be involved with Pokemon. But I would have always thought, like, what could have been if I would have done more car content or paintball content. Don't you think it's wild how many people pay more for PSA 10 Unlimited Vintage card? For example, Blaine's Charizard over first edition PSA 9. No, and I will answer you that why. Because Some of the unlimited cards are way rarer than the first edition variants, which is why people will pay more because the population is actually lower of some of those unlimiteds. For example, a great one is Blaine's Arcanine. Blaine's Arcanine is actually way, way, way lower pop, way rarer, way more scarce than the first edition variant. Now, first edition is always going to have a premium. It's kind of like the argument with Shadowless too. Like, why is Shadowless so undervalued compared to first edition? Because it's Shadowless. It's not first edition. It's everything else is always going to run second, second best, right? But some of them are like super rare. Same thing with like unlimited jungle, unlimited fossil. Some of those cards are actually way rarer than first edition in terms of the gem rate. Now the total graded, no, not rare. In total graded population, there's way, way, way more unlimited copies graded of anything, right? But the gem mint rate, which doesn't really matter to me, right? Like, all that says is that there's way more stuff being graded of those unlimited cards, so they have to be harsher on them. That's kind of all that means to me, honestly. I would, me personally, I would definitely go for the first edition PSA 9 over the unlimited 10 any day of the week because the 9 is very close to a 10 and I'm still getting that first edition premium, right? That's just me. But also, there are cards in Unlimited that I wouldn't mind. I would love to have, especially if I pulled them myself. I would never get rid of them, right? If I pulled an Unlimited Snorlax from Jungle and it got a PSA 10, would never get rid of it. If I still have my Unlimited Pinsir from Jungle. I pulled that card myself. I still have it. It literally looks perfect. Not sure where I'm going there, but so base set unlimited Charizard. There was a time where I realized that I would never get a 10 of a Shadowless Charizard, and obviously probably never get a 10 of a first edition Charizard, which is still not off the table technically. If I went to a show and they had a PSA 10 there, my collection is worth enough that I could trade in for a PSA 10 first edition Charizard. I could make that happen. I would have to get rid of the gold stars, the crystals, the first editions. Everything would have to go, mostly. But I could actually get like one of my all-time grails. In fact, yeah. PSA 10, gold star Rayquaza, or first edition base set Zard. I could still make those happen in my lifetime if I really worked at it. But yeah, there was a point where I really wanted a base set unlimited Charizard, is what I'm trying to say. Because it was, 20 grand and gem mint perfect vintage Charizard. Doesn't get better than that. And I actually really, really like the color of the unlimited Charizard. I actually think it looks nicer almost than Shadowless. It's a weird thing to say, but the faded look of the Shadowless is cool. It is nostalgic, but I don't necessarily like it more. Jason, how we doing? One of these past streams, you chose my next Grail pickup, the Shining Mewtwo, and it just came in. I couldn't be happier. Super hyped. 3 down, plenty more to go. Congrats, Jason. I'm really proud, man. I'm really proud of you. You stuck with it. You got your Grails, and it's going to pay off in the long run. Jajawa, I was thinking Jigglypuff, but the Pokemon pink was because Clefairy was going to be Ash's Pokemon. Oh, interesting. Very interesting. Yeah, it's funny, like, so Clefairy, I think, was going to be Gengar. I don't know if any of you guys know that, but a buddy of mine, like, told me that, and it makes so much sense. Like, Gengar is, like, the infected version of Clefairy, you know what I mean? He went to the dark side. But yeah, dude, Jigglypuff is sick. I don't know why it's taking me this long. I love Jigglypuff. I should have jumped on a first edition PSA 10 jungle Jigglypuff when those things were like $100. That would have been money well spent. Also, there's a Topps Jigglypuff that's so super nice. I don't know if it's Topps Chrome, but there's just a nice shiny Topps Jigglypuff on eBay right now for PSA 10. It's like $250, and I'm like, ooh, that's so perfect. It is literally the one I have up here. It's this one right here. This one in the middle. That's the non-hollow one. I want the hollow one though. That Jigglypuff is sick. Like the Topps, I give a lot of respect to Topps because Topps were the first real full arts. I mean, they really were. Or no, the vending series card ass, like those, the Japanese were the first full arts, right? Obviously. But for English, Tops, I want to say, did Tops come out before first ed English? Either way, in English, Tops were the first full arts. Dude, I love Tops. I honestly love Tops. I'm like, if I ever see Tops at the shop, I'm gonna pick them up. Um, okay, Jajawa Logan is probably involved in so many communities that it's hard for people to keep track of all his moves, right? Like serial scamming type stuff. But also, like, you have to know information for yourself, and I feel like he's just a really easy guy to hate, right? Um, Also, my dad said it really well. Well, why would people be shocked? I like told my dad about how he's like at the forefront of like one of the biggest Pokemon scams in history. And my dad's like, the guy literally got paid to let someone beat the living out of him. Like, you're gonna trust that guy? I thought that was pretty. I thought that was a pretty like brutal truth that my dad had said. Um, Skip Ray, yo, what's good? Dude's got so many hobbies. And like I think that's like what it is to be a man too. I think like there's definitely a stigma when people are collecting TCG that like you're in this one TCG and it's like, well, what about all the other stuff in the world? Like Viktor Frankl's Man's Search for Meaning, right? A lot of us collectors are like searching for our meaning and we're dabbling in all these different things. That's what life is all about. How far are you into the One Piece anime? I love it myself. Dude, I don't have time to watch that anime. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, like Logan Paul. Oh, I watched the live action, it was pretty good. Like, no, I don't care about the live action. I want to watch the anime, but also I want to watch the anime. Dragon Ball Z is something that I actively have tried to continue watching. I'm not there with One Piece. I don't know if I ever will be. I've had friends that were really crazy about One Piece, years ago before the TCG was a thing. One Piece just isn't that for me. Now, as a TCG, I'm okay to collect some of the cards. I think they're really cool. Also, to have like a Luffy card that is like a sick Grail Luffy card, I think would be cool. But other than that, I would much rather dive deeper into Dragon Ball Z. I'm just worried that Dragon Ball Z is gonna crash out and burn out again, and it's gonna die. And that's hard to say because the anime will never die, right? The OG Dragon Ball Z teaches so many amazing life lessons, which I'm sure One Piece does too. One Piece does a really good job with having an expansive universe, something that I don't think Dragon Ball Z does a good enough job of. Like this whole thing of being like pirates and like endlessly hunting for treasure in the world and battles. It's like it's genius. It's a never-ending story. Dragon Ball Z, on the other hand, I think they've got their work cut out for them on like just new environments, new worlds. And maybe I'm wrong on that. I'm not like crazy on Dragon Ball. I'm sure they have a super expansive universe as well. Um, I just feel like with Dragon Ball, I don't know. I don't know. There's a lot of amazing life lessons in Dragon Ball. Like Dragon Ball is honestly, I look up to Goku. Just these guys are shredded, right? They're shredded. The Super Saiyans, right? Becoming the best version of yourself. We all want that to some degree. So yeah, Dragon Ball Z is sick. But yeah, One Piece, I'm sorry. I just went on way too long about that. Fortress was good. How's the new house, new baby? I haven't been here in a while. It's all great. Kids are healthy. Life is good. Aspen's been really nice to me lately, which is new because usually she's very sassy. So like my daughter is really starting to like warm up to me in a big way, like really look up to me. So that's pretty amazing. My son is adorable. I wish I could stay in this phase with him forever. I don't want him to become another mini me version of myself, just like wreaking havoc on the world. He's just so perfect, right where he is right now. He's just like everything is perfect right now. The house is great. We have had some issues since moving in. It was like our dream house, and like first, it was the HVAC blew as soon as we moved in the scorching hot heat of the summer. I was furious because we had all these inspections done on this house. Like I spent every dime I had on this house. So there's that. And then there's some foundational stuff with our kitchen. There's some cracked tile, which you might think, oh, cracked tile, no big deal. But cracked tile is a big deal. I'm very OCD. I'm the same way with this house that I am with cards. Cracked tile is a structural integrity thing. If there's cracked tile, there's something going on with the foundation. And like in the winter, like I say this even though I've only been here 6 months, but in the winter, in our old house, the floors buckled a little bit, which was cool. It was a 1953 home. This is a 2000 home, right? So this home only has 26 years of life in it. It shouldn't be like, I don't know. The wood to me shouldn't be buckling or like separating slightly, which it is on the bottom floor. That concerns me. Also, just little things. There's some drywall lines that are starting to appear, which happens. It's just before you sell a house, you have them paint and you have them mud and you have them drywall over every single crevice and crack so everything looks perfect. And then comes winter and multiple seasons and everything just starts falling apart. So like no matter how nice of a house you get, they're all going to have issues. So there's that. Um, and I have a ton of resentment for just like we moved further out. I have a longer drive, but there's a dope local post office nearby that they're so nice. I never have a wait. I never have issues. They're amazing. I can literally call them 5 minutes before they close and they'll stay open for me. So there's that. There's all these stores nearby, which was like, I didn't expect that. I didn't calculate that. And there's two really dope card shops nearby, which Diana's not the biggest fan of. Um, so yeah, living here has been great. The mortgage is killing me. It is a $4,000 a month mortgage. My utilities are like another, I don't know, $700. Diana has no idea how much stress I'm actually under to make this happen. And I'm really fucking proud that I still kept up with this hobby. I still bought grail cards that I was going after, even though it put me into a lot of credit card debt, which credit card debt. It's great. We love it. Anyways, luckily all of my purchases have gone up way more in value than the interest on my card. So I've been buying and buying and buying and selling to try and pay that down. But dude, it's just been stressful. It's just been so stressful. Um, Polly, I own a master set of EX Dragon Frontiers. Sick. I pulled a Zard as a kid from a loose booster my mom bought from a gas station. Holy cow. Like the Gold Star Charizard. Oh my god. Dude, that's amazing. That's the stuff of dreams right there. Joe, Korokoro Mew is sick. The 10 on eBay right now, though, is not very pretty, dude. Dude, I saw, like, dude, the vendors at the beginning of 2025 Collecticon, dude, they had so many Koro Mews, and they were like 9K, and I just thought that was nuts. Cheap. Too cheap. Fortress, Orion, got any product to rip for us? No. The GameStop did have a Phantasmal Flames UPC that I could have thrown my money away on, but I decided to buy more cards instead. However, I do have a lot of Scarlet Violet base. So maybe next week we'll open some Scarlet Violet base. As product is more available, as stores and shops have more product, it will start to become normal for me to go to a Target or go to a Walmart and be able to pick up a few sleeves. That is something we have not been able to do all year. So, not entirely my fault. At the same time, I could buy sealed product online. It's just really, really expensive. So, it's tough. And to be fair, between having this house and buying the Grail cards I want most, I'm gonna say sealed product opening it is the last thing on my agenda. I don't have a channel for revenue for that. I don't have the ad revenue to boost that up. Um, if I did, I would be opening more because I would have the money coming in to just offset it, but there's just not. And you guys know I took a month-long hiatus from YouTube, and that wrecked me. Wrecked me. Like, just destroyed any chance of trying to come back. And now it's starting to grow again, but whew, it is a steep journey to the top again. I'm flipping One Piece while it's hot. Bandai has killed every card game they ever made. So is One Piece made by Bandai? And you're convinced it's going to die out too, so flip it while it's hot. Because now you're making me think I should sell my Luffy that I just picked up, even though I really like it. Bare Bottom Branton, yo, what's good? Yo, I appreciate all the comments on my latest video. I see that stuff and I remember it, and I appreciate you. Jajawa, I think this video broke down the scam with Pikachu Illustrator and Logan very well by Influencer Circuit. Logan Paul's Pokemon scam is collapsing. Update. Ooh, please give me updates. Guys, please, somebody go check real quick. Leave the stream and check for updates. I want to know what's going on because in my video for not tomorrow, but the day after, I will be talking about Logan Paul and Ken Golden being on with Fox News and how that all went and what it looks like. That's why I was asking. Houses always seem to break right after closing the deal. Dude, there's the grass is always greener. It's always like, now I will say, this is a full brick house. It's everything I wanted. It's fucking beautiful. The exterior of this house is bulletproof. It is everything I could have ever wanted and dreamed for. I feel like a millionaire, but I feel broke. So it's like the whole housing epidemic and people regretting it instantly after they buy. I'm feeling that. But that's normal, I feel like in America. Luckily renting out our old house is going well and thank God. Thank God. If I wasn't renting out our old house, if I sold it, I mean, you could say I would be better off financially for a while. And then I would probably overspend, probably buy too many cards. God, now that I'm saying this, I'm realizing that I'm an idiot because renting my house probably is earning me way less than if I would have just sold it, had all that cash, bought a ton of grails, maybe even potentially just bought my ultimate grail card, right? I would have sold my house. I owe like I owe like 20 grand on it, 18, 19 grand on it. Um, I would have been able to sell the house for like 500. I would have had like 480. I would have put half of that into this house to pay off principal. And then I would have had like 200K to just play around with, something like that. God, dude, who knows what I would have bought with that money? And it probably would have gone up so much more than having rent money coming in. But, that's what it looks like right now. If this hobby slows down, I'll be glad that I have rent income coming in. And that property is still going up in value. So there's that too. But I genuinely believe Pokemon is, and I honestly kind of hate admitting this. Pokemon is the best investment I've ever made. It's the best thing I've ever done with my money. Hands down. There is nothing better. I'm almost like, it almost pisses me off because I've tried so many different things and even the bar business is great, but it's work, it's effort, it's time. Doing this, streaming, selling on eBay, selling on whatnot, which I'm not doing that, but I'm telling you right now, if the bar closed, if me and my family, if we had a fallout basically, and it was just like, I can't run this place anymore, I'm losing my mind. Whatnot is probably something that I would do because you have to make money. I have bills to pay. So unfortunately, like I'm lucky enough that I make enough money. I don't have to do stuff like that. But I do think, stuff like Whatnot, streaming full-time, doing videos full-time, doing Pokemon full-time sounds like a fantasy, but it is real. You can do it. A lot easier in my position because I've built up a lot of inventory and, my collection and I have stuff I can liquidate. And I got into sealed at a good time. But I could have done this full-time. I just can't believe how well Pokemon is doing. It's unbelievable. Skip Ray, my wife and I casually got into Pokemon during 151. Amazing. Because I wanted to play again. I have a healthy 151. Some Scarlet Violet, some other stuff. We're not playing now, and it's all in great. What's the best way to move it? Part out, card by card on eBay, hit the store, try to catch a vendor. I just saw Diana's comment on there. Definitely doing the hard work and selling on eBay one card at a time. It pays off big. You forget about your listings, and then one day someone comes and buys like 5 cheap cards that you paid $1, $2, $3 for. They buy them for $6, $7 each. You sell 6 or 7 of those bad boys. I know it's not much, but like these little sales, they make such a difference in my day-to-day life. Like it helps so much pay for a tank of gas, pay for some groceries, pay a part of a bill. I definitely think parting it out piece by piece is the best thing you can do. Dude, it's the best thing you can do. Austin, he just doesn't love us enough anymore to burn money entertaining us. You're damn right. You're damn right. Your entertainment is not the top of my priority list. I love you. I love you guys, but not the top of my priority list. I am surviving. I am surviving. I'm thriving and I'm surviving. Um, Ray, whoa, how lucky am I to catch a stream? Hey man, hope all's well. Dude, I appreciate you. Daniel, is that a first ed IV Pikachu? No, it is not. It is a Portuguese. You know, our boy Fortress actually gave me that Portuguese Pikachu. It's technically for Diana, but we leave it in here. Diana really likes that Pikachu though. But yeah, that is Portuguese Pikachu from our fellow friend and subscriber Fortress. Um, I remember watching you get wrecked, ripping so much 151. Lots of good pulls, but also lots of skunks. Dude, 151. We got some PSA 10s, but honestly, looking back, the value of all that sealed product, oh my God, I screwed up. But it was fun. It was fun. What makes me the most upset, I think, is just like an extra kick in the balls, is that we never got that Nidoking. Never. I don't think I'll ever pull one. I honestly don't think I'll ever pull one. We never got the Nidoking, and that was like a sign to me. They're like, all right, I thought I could complete a set by opening everything. Nope. 151 is amazing though. Like top tier modern set to open for sure. I do feel like if we open some Scarlet Violet base, I will be pleasantly surprised. There's a lot of really good illustration rares in Scarlet Violet base. Problem is, they've all come back down to earth. If I opened Scarlet Violet base when we were going through that hype phase like a year ago, and like all the illustrators like what the was happening, dude? People were coming in and buying illustration cards for like 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, $70. And I had set these nutty prices because that's what I always do. I set prices high for the future. And like I was just like having all this stuff sell, and I was like, what is going on? And so that's how I know something is going on in the hobby, when my eBay starts popping off. Park One Piece OP14, new EB4. So the shop that I went to today had a bunch of One Piece. It was $12 a pack though. I don't know if that's like a good deal, but that was a lot. Favorite Dragon Ball Z character? Who do you guys think my favorite Dragon Ball Z character is? Who do you think my favorite Dragon Ball Z character is? Just real quick. Who do you think it is? We share one thing in common, for sure. Bulma. It's not Bulma. It's not Bulma. Mr. No. Vegeta! Let's go! Now, I'm going to ask you, Godin, why did you say Vegeta? And be honest, because I think you know why I picked Vegeta. It's actually has to do with aging, right? It has to do with getting older. So, and that's exactly why I was doing this little bit right here. We cannot control that, right? But here is this fucking badass, right? And he's got this insane, terrible hairline, but he's still awesome, and you love him, and you love the colors of his fit, and you love like his whole demeanor, and he fucking hates everybody, and he's just like a shit talker. And that's kind of me sometimes. Like Vegeta's toxic, and I am toxic, and I really have worked on myself for many years on that. But I don't know. I just fuck with Vegeta heavy. He's my favorite. That's gonna be the first alt art. If I get an alt art in Dragon Ball Z, that's gonna be the first one. It's gonna be a Vegeta card. There's something about Vegeta. Also, he's ignorant and I'm ignorant, right? Like I'm always learning from other people, and my world and my perspective being opened up by other people. Like Goku is just so funny, he's so silly. There's so many life lessons in Dragon Ball Z, and it's I watched this whole video on a really good someone way better than me, way more articulate than me, breaking down like how Vegeta isn't growing, right? And like Goku's teaching Vegeta kind of how to grow again and like and how to become better. That's a terrible breakdown. Someone in here probably could articulate it a lot better. But Vegeta stopped growing. Vegeta stopped growing, not just physically, but like mentally, psychologically, Vegeta stopped growing. Goku never stops growing. Goku is the Sisyphus, always pushing the boulder up the hill and enjoying every second of it. Without challenge, his life is meaningless. Whereas Vegeta sees a challenge and wants to crush it, and that's it, right? That's like Goku's like his whole demeanor, his message is so good for this generation too. Where I feel like we got dealt a really crappy hand with a lot of stuff, and we just make lemonade with lemons, right, y'all? Like, um, Piccolo's sick though. I like Piccolo. Um, let's see. And that's another thing that I've grappled with, like a lot of supplements, a lot of different things, hymns and finasteride, all kinds of stuff for my hairline. I just don't care anymore. I think that's the best thing I could ever do is just stop caring. I just don't care anymore. And you know what? I look up to Vegeta for his hairline because he's still a badass and he has a terrible hairline. Um, I also have noticed a lot of people that tend to be in this space are bald. Nothing wrong with that. I wonder if there's a correlation to the stress of like collecting and the gamble and the risk, and it makes that happen. Because I always had a very full head of hair. Like Diana can confirm. Like when she met me, I had a very full head, long hair. Something about this hobby is very stressful, and I stress myself out too. But I'm sure people can attest to that. That there is a trend here of people in this hobby and hair and just being stressed out and maybe just not taking care of ourselves. That's like a TCG collector type thing. We're all nerds. We just don't take care of ourselves. That's something I'm trying to be better about, going to the gym more again, which I'm still not being consistent with, which I've preached that before, how important that is. So I need to practice what I preach. My friend just texted me a pic of his Vegeta. Dude, and I love the toys, dude. The toys, bro, shout out to everybody who likes the toys, right? The toys are half the fun, right? What are we doing if we're not having fun? You could just get a hair transplant. All right, edit me a hair transplant. Um, if it gets to that, right? I'll go to Turkey. Um, you see, but it's crazy though. Like some of these celebrities, like out of nowhere, like full new head of hair. They're gonna get new tech. Somebody will figure something out. But like it's also like you can let it go, but there's no excuse. There's tons of options these days. It's like but giving up and just not caring is just a lot easier. Um, yeah, receding hairline, it is what it is. Um, I also don't think I would look good bald. Let's just be honest here. Without my hair, I would be terrified. Most toxic thing you've ever done. Um, wow. Um, I was not a great person back in the day. I was not a great person back in the day. Um, I'm gonna tell you guys right now, I was a little bit of a womanizer of sorts. I would say the most toxic thing I've ever done was, and this is by far the most, which maybe is not that toxic, maybe it's a little understandable. I cheated on a girlfriend. I literally did it just to get back at her because she did it to me. That's probably the most toxic thing. And I mean, I also played multiple girls at the same time, but that was young me. You know, that's not the person I am today. I like to think that I've grown a lot, but that was definitely the most toxic thing. And I have such deep regret for that. Cheating on someone, I don't know how people do it. it just eats you up on the inside. And it's funny because my first girlfriend, she cheated on me, but it was this whole revelation when I cheated on her. It was like, how could you do this to me? And it's like, you cheated on me first. Like, that's what happened. I just wanted to know that this wasn't what I wanted. I basically had to learn from my own failure, but it was a toxic thing, and um, it was just not. It was not a good thing to do, and it was a definitely a dark moment for me, for sure. As far as relationships and dealing with people, that's probably the most toxic thing I've ever done. Um, Show off some collection pieces. I do have my collection, my like big boy collection here. Man, that whiskey club soda is great. It is great. Ah, okay, we got it. Okay, guys. Here we go. Oh, dude, this is crazy. Crazy. Okay. This is probably my favorite recent pickup. Hold on. My favorite recent pickup is the Sabrina's Gengar. Um, this was such a crazy card for me to pick up because I had just gotten the Skyridge Gengar in a 10, which is also crazy. This was 25K. This was 13K. These two right here is almost $40,000. During that time, I was also buying multiple copies of Lugia because I wasn't happy with them. And I finally have a copy. It took me 3 copies, but I finally have a copy of the Lugia in a 9 that I'm really, really happy with. Dude, look at that hollow orb, dude. He's literally shooting an attack, dude. It's so great. And then half swirls on each edge of the border. Kind of like his wings flap. Like one thing me and Doctor definitely agree on is like a good placed swirl makes all the difference. It tells the story. This Typhlosion was pretty recent. I wanted to get a new cert one, and the guy would not budge, and it was like 3K for forever. And I was like, or no, it was 4K for forever. And I was like, dude, 3,200. And then I was like, dude, 3,400. I was like, come on, dude, I'm paying you way over what I just paid for mine. Like way over comp. And 34, 35, 36, 3,700. This motherfucker, dude, this guy didn't accept any of my offers. And the card just sold from under me for $4,000 after months of sitting there at that price. But I still have one. I'm still very happy with it. I don't know. I wanted a newer cert. But at the end of the day, like I've been talking about card altering, and we know for sure that this 4 cert is not altered. So I should just be happy with it. And I am. But yeah, the Lugia and that together. Blaine's Charizard was a pretty recent. I've slowed down a lot, but these were a lot of cards I picked up recently after we got the house. I knew after we got the house, even if I dug myself into some debt, I knew that this was it. I knew that this was it. I knew it wasn't just a phase for people. I knew Pokemon was finally taking off. Got this guy a while back, dude. This thing is doing numbers right now. What are we at on this guy? Like 70K? The last auction was like 68. And the PSA 10, once that number gets updated and it's higher, it's going to send the 9 even higher too. So I think this is going to be a $100,000 card by the end of 2026, frankly. This will be my most valuable card, probably. And then, dude, I got this Raichu I picked up recently. This Raichu is so good, dude. Look at see, I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's a little bit curved. There's some slight curvature. You just tell, dude, this thing was pack fresh. You could just tell. If this thing sat in a binder, it would be amazing to me. You can also see some light surface scratches on it. I don't know if you guys will be able to see, but I can 100% tell this card was never doctored. Nothing was ever done to it. It was just a really, really clean copy that was off-center that I think was pack fresh. I didn't even think twice. I paid $2,500 for this so quick. I didn't even think twice. But yeah, I keep checking on the cards. I keep looking at them, edges and corners. just looking for anything weird, especially with the newer cert cards, because I am very worried about, card doctoring and so forth. I haven't even checked on any of the comments from that video I made. I have a new rule for making content. And that is after I make a video, I don't look at, I mean, maybe if I have time, I look at some of the comments and respond to them, but I'm not looking at the comments anymore. Because you don't know if you'll get a couple bad comments, a couple judgmental, abrasive people, and then you just don't feel like making content. But if you read those comments when you're already working on the next videos, right? Like, or you read some of them, you're kind of already on a roll, right? You're in the zone. And right now I'm in the zone. And so I'm trying to stay in the zone. Let's see. I also picked up this 9 on top of the 10, which I still have. We love that. Nidoking's really good. This guy's doing some numbers, right? Oh, dude, one card that is doing crazy numbers is the Gyarados. What is going on with the Gyarados, bro? This was 2,200, and I remember feeling like I overpaid a little bit on it. But I didn't care because it had that really cool mouse swirl. Now it's like 10K. This card has done more numbers than anything else, and that is the reason that I bought this guy up here in a PSA 10. Because I saw how the Gary moved, and this is such a good art, and I had one in a 9 for a while, and I let it go a long time ago, but I bought that one, and that card is doing numbers. I have that on eBay. I'm probably going to take it off of eBay. I have mine higher than everybody else's, but I can see that they're raising their prices too. So it's kind of funny. We're in an environment right now where I feel like people see a list price, and they start to raise that list price. Oh, dude, this one was huge. This Venusaur was really big. That was a big card. Such a big card. God. Wild. And still got the gold stars. Still happy we got the gold stars. I'm so used to it now that it's like it's nothing special, but it is still really special. And it's good to appreciate these. Yeah. Oh, man. We almost did it, guys. We just need Gold Star Umbreon. Almost did it. Really need that Gold Star Umbreon. Yeah, dude. Yep. She's a keeper. She's a keeper. God, man. So glad I have one of these. This 9, this Tyranitar, this Quapless Tyranitar, I'm really, really happy with. I do want to get my boys PSA 10, but I keep pushing back on making a deal, and I feel really bad about it, but let's see. Tanya, yo, it's good. Dragon Ball Z was dead after Frieza Saga. Let's see some GOAT pieces. Vegeta showed growth in Super. Zoro versus Vegeta. Arguably the end of Z and GT. So I'm in GT right now, and I am loving the crap out of GT right now. Like it's crazy. Like he got turned into a kid again and has to grow up. It's just so bizarre that Goku is a kid and Bulma just has to deal with that. That like I had such a hard time wrapping my head around the beginning of GT because of that. Piccolo is the GOAT. Piccolo's sick. I do think Majin Buu is sick. I think a big thing for a lot of us was Budokai. If you had a PlayStation or a GameCube, and I don't know if they had it on GameCube, honestly, and you weren't playing Dragon Ball Z Budokai, dude, you were missing out on the time of a lifetime. Dude, Dragon Ball Z is so freaking good. Dude, Cell is sick. Cell is badass. Buu Saga was really, really long. And I didn't that's the other thing, I never had cable, so, like, I only watched Dragon Ball Z when we went on vacation somewhere, and it was a very, very special thing. Um If you won't do Finn Minox, don't do hair transplant. You literally need them to keep it. Oh, interesting. Just get a wig. Also, yes, Ryan. Just shave it if you won't do it. Um, um, most altruistic thing you've ever done. So I don't think any of you know this, but I used to volunteer at a children's hospital, the Levine's Children's Hospital here in Charlotte. I volunteered there for 2 years when I was in high school. But it was also a part of my mom's thing. My mom's sister died. She was a nurse. She died really young. Just complications, health complications. She was overweight. But it was a lot more than that, but that didn't help. Um, but yeah, in her memory, I volunteered at the hospital, and I would say that was by far the most altruistic thing I ever did, and it was really, really good for my mental health, like really, really good. Um, Ray, you look good, brother. Honestly, I've tried to mimic some of your style for sure, and also have opened so many packs and felt like I've wasted money, but now I'm seeing so many altered cards. I feel better. Yeah, I appreciate that. You should sell some sealed and get a fireproof safe for the slabs. I do have a fireproof safe. I need to pick it up. It's at my parents'. It's a gun safe. I just need to go get it. Do you have insurance on your collection? I do not. Uh, not even fire, just lava. Uh, old is gold. Ultra gold. Keep the videos coming out. Yo, I appreciate you, T. Uh, yeah, I got the 9 Torchic. The only thing I don't have is the Umbreon. Dio's just rewatched GT. Just so good. After Mega GX era, so buy all the old GXs now before they go up. After Mega is GX era. Oh, crap. Yeah, so we need the Deoxys Espeon. We need... oh, I can show you guys my GX cards, actually. We just got the Magikarp, which was a huge one. We need the Latios. Yo, what's good, Chad? How we doing? Yo, when you ever come around to selling your collection, I will literally give you, like, market. If you ever come around to selling those cards. Like, no BS. I will literally give you market on those cards. I remember what you had. Dude, you had some good stuff. I don't even think I can afford your cards right now, honestly. Bro looks like a Best Buy manager. Let's go. I'll take it. I'll take it. I'm balling out for a Best Buy manager, let me tell you. Oh man. Oh brother, you make me feel Stop. Stop. We've got some lower graded stuff as well that I've been getting into lately, so we'll go over that too. Um okay. All right, let's get back into looking at some grails. Okay, some shinings. We got Shining Zard, PSA 10. What's right here? Oh, I got the Crystal Zard just chilling right here. Crystal Zard, PSA 10. We got Shining Raichu, NBA Gold label that I almost peeled off the label because I didn't like it. Oh, super clean. So Mewtwo is in a 9. Because we had just bought the house, and then I went to Collecticon broke as fuck, and I literally just traded a bunch of slabs I just got 10s on. That was such a good move, dude. Trading my graded 10s for this vintage was such a good move. That panned out. That aged so well. I cannot believe I was able to trade for these cards. The guy who sold me this totally regrets it, too. He was like, dude, you still got that Tyranitar? I was like, yep, still got it. Should not have taken my modern stuff. We got Celebi right here. I got the guy for 3,500, which was actually a steal. It was when this was selling for 5K. I don't know what that person was thinking taking 3,500. That was wild. That was a low ball offer. I can't believe they took it. Um, more like Radio Shack. The wifey says, "Come hang out with me." Long-time viewer here. You should lend me a slap or something. I think it could be time to do a giveaway. I would have fun with that. Honestly, I think I'm past that point of like I want people to watch me for me. A giveaway is not going to do anything but make my channel explode. Honestly, like it's a cheat code. If I do a giveaway, it is absolutely going to make the channel explode. But I like that the channel's where it's at without having to, I guess, take any shortcuts. Um, Gold Star Pikachu, which I wanted to replace this for the longest time because, let's see, y'all should be able to see it how I see it perfectly now. You see, it's really hard to see. You can see there's just a little tiny little lip on that top edge. You might not even be able to see it. I'm over it. I literally don't care. This card has gotten so expensive, I literally don't care. Unless someone trades me the exact same card, same grade, and they'll let me just give them $100, I just don't care. Like, it's a 9. It's a true 9. I really don't care anymore. I'm just happy to have one at this point. With the prices lately, I'm just happy to have a lot of these. Oh, dude, this Gyarados is so good, man. It's so good. Dude, this Mewtwo is popping, bro. Shit is popping, bro. That is clean. This is good for me too, because I haven't gone through my cards in a while. I paid $1,500 for this. At the time, it was a steal, and not only that, it was a big risk because it had a thing in the slab. No one bought this copy because it had a little flake of something inside the slab. Y'all would not believe this shit. I don't know if I explained it when I got it. Diana remembers. Diana literally remembers. I was looking at this card. We went for a walk at the park. I had just picked this card up from my parents because I get everything shipped to them because I don't trust people. But this thing had a little flake of something in it, and I was like, damn it, it's still there. So I literally took the card and I started banging it on our like rubbery dashboard. And sure enough, whatever flake was in there just came out. Like it loosened up and it went somewhere in the slab, but it's not on the card anymore. That was why people, I swear, that was why people did not pick this card up because it had this tiny bit of debris that was in the corner and it just an eyesore. Wild. But yeah, it's a really clean. Look at this 9, dude. Look at this old Cert 9. Trying to get it to focus, dude. Look at the corners, bro. Yeah, that corner's dinged, but still. Bro, old Cert 9. Nice. We did get a new Celebi lately. We got Crystal. Those are the dogs. We got the Crystal Guardians. We did replace this. I had one before that had a crease that I swear to God had to have been altered because I don't remember it having a crease initially when I saw it. Maybe it did, but I'm pretty sure something was weird with that one. And I believe it was a late 7 cert. Which is unfortunate because that's a good era. But yeah, this one's super clean. Very happy with it. So yeah, that was interesting. That thing you sent in the Discord, Doctor, about Celebi is like outpacing everything else. Story on these fucking cards piss me off so much because I got all 3 of them off of a buddy who literally these were the first gold stars I ever had. Buddy got me into it, which my wife did not like this guy at the time because she was like, this guy is like getting you into these expensive cards and like you shouldn't like listen to other people. You should just do what you want to do. But I'm really glad I listened to him because he got me into gold stars. So these are the first 3 I bought. I paid $330 per. None of these are the same gold stars. After looking at them, he had cross-graded them. He cracked them. They were CGC 9s. He cracked them, or they were 9.5s. He sent them to PSA. They all got 9s. And then he sold them to me for $330 each. And then I noticed every single one of them had a flaw. All of them had like dings and edge lifting and weird crap. I was so bummed out. And so I went and I bought all of these, and then I sold the old ones that I had. And it's funny, these are older certs, and they were cleaner than the newer cert copies that I had. And they all have swirls. Every single new copy has a swirl. This copy has a swirl right there. Really want a Neo Revelation Suicune, but that's not going to happen. Well, I'll get a 9 someday. And then this one has a swirl right there. You guys might not see it, but this one has a swirl. It's just a body swirl. As long as I know the swirl is there, that's all I care about. And then the Raikou. I think the Raikou has a perfect swirl. Yes, it does. It has the swirl right here. There we go. There's those. We got the Reggies. Oh, no. That was the wrong one. The Reggies. These are pretty dope. I like Registeel the most. Not much to say there. This one has a nice swirl. More of Keystone cards I just need. And then we have the Evolutions. I just need the Umbreon. I just need the Umbreon. And we're done with that. I do have a graded Snorlax. I was going to talk about this in tomorrow's video, but I picked this guy up today. It's a PSA 6. And it's got scratches on the hollow, and I love it. I love it. It hasn't been doctored, guys. I love it. It's a modern PSA 6. 175 minus 7% because they gave me 7% off the whole lot. Guys, I have a huge collection lot for tomorrow's video. Buckle up. It's a 40-minute long video. So much stuff came in today. I am a madman. But yeah, dude, I had to pick this up, dude. Snorlax is a grail, honestly, in any grade. And a 6 I felt pretty good about. And it's not too bad for a 6. Yeah, it's got whitening. It's got whitening on the corners. But it was recently graded. The standards are tougher. This could have been a 7 or an 8 back in the day. So I'm very, very happy with it. And it's still a first edition Snorlax. And I've got him right on next to the first edition Jungle Box. So there's that. These have the aesthetic of $2 blister promos. That's great. I've been seeing PSA 9s that deserve lower grades lately. Yeah, I mean, grading is super subjective. So, yes, we need Umbreon. God, that's going to be tough. That's going to be so tough. And, you know, the most frustrating thing is the guy who sold me this for $3,700, he had the Umbreon and he wanted 6.5. I offered 5.7. I was so up this guy's ass about that Umbreon because it was literally, I'm pretty sure it was sequential, which makes me even more angry, which is why I should have fucking put my best foot forward. But yeah, it was a sequential Umbreon to go with this Espeon. It's out there. Someone has the brother of this, the sister, the brother, sister, the sibling of this Espeon. It's out there. I know that it's out there. That would be amazing if someone would fucking help me out. Even at market, I don't care. Just get me the pair that's sequential that goes with this. Because this is a really good 9. I'm very happy with it. So yeah, I was really pissed off about that. I almost had the whole set completed way, way earlier than I had anticipated. But nope, that one move screwed everything up for me. And it's also why I operate with a lot of FOMO with vintage grail cards. Stuff like that. Oh, we got the big boys. We got the big boys. We got Gold Star Charizard. I remember this was 4,200. And I remember the next week, Z&G sold one for like 5,000 something, 5,600, something like that. And I was like, damn, I can't believe this went for this. I paid 4.2. And he was like, dude, you got a really good price at 4.2. And I sure did. And the guy that sold me this, I kept offering him, lowballing him, and he was like, dude, I'm not going to take a lower offer. When you see this card, you will see that it is a really good 9 for an old cert. There's some schmutzy on here. Don't mind the schmutzy. It's not on the card. Also, it's different when you have these in hand. They're special, but there's something about seeing them on camera that makes them so much more mystifying than in person. And we got Kyogre and Metagross, which is Metagross. The guy that sold me this Metagross was so bummed out. He was like, I'm going to miss rent payment if I don't sell this card. So hopefully I can find one again, but I'm glad it's going to a good home. He was super bummed out. He was like, yeah, it has a perfect swirl, like an attack swirl. I got to admit, this was a great pickup. And I don't like 6 certs. I'm going to be honest with you, but this was a good one. Not a fan of 6 certs, but this was a good one. This also, buying gold stars in PSA 9 is why I think PSA 9 deserves more credit with vintage. Ooh, this Kyogre has a gnarly swirl. Look at that swirl. Man, that's like lit up. That swirl is lit up. Yeah, what we got? Yeah, we got all the first edition base. We'll literally run through it right now, but we got almost all first edition base. We're missing a few. We need Nidoking. We need Zapdos. We need what else we need? Nidoking, Zapdos, Clefairy. I really want Clefairy. Story on these two. God, dude, I took so much risk getting into first edition base. So the story about these 3 guys. These 2 I got in a private deal from a guy in Canada for $5,600. And man, he would just not budge. He was so firm on price. And he was like, when you see these, you'll understand they're really clean. And they're really not. They're not the cleanest. The fronts look great, and that was his point, is that the hollows were in such good shape. And I mean, these have never been altered, right? The hollows are in impeccable shape. But they are not the cleanest 9s, right? You've got some whitening. You've got some whitening right there. For sure, I don't know if this would have 9'd today, but you've got some whitening specs right here that probably would not be on a modern 9. But the corners are pretty sharp. But yeah, these 2 were 5,600 together. Or no, 5,200? It was 2,900. It was 2,900. I remember the math in my head was 2,900 and 1,900. So it was more than that. It was 58. It was 58. Wait, 2,900 plus 1,000, 3,900 plus another 9. It was 4,800 for these 2, actually, because it was 2,900 and 1,900. I can't count. But yeah, it was 4,800. That was a package deal. And I did that because I knew that I wanted to get the cheap ones out of the way first. Cheap ones. So we got those 2. This guy was... There really is a long story with this Charizard. I hunted this card for months. Or at least what felt like months. It could have been a couple weeks. But it felt like months. No one would take any of my offers on eBay. No one would even respond to my offers on eBay. And then there's this one seller, and he was like, I offered 18K, and he was like, because I saw there's a 16K sale. I was literally giving them the lowest sales that there had been in months. It was at the time where Pokemon was rough, right? Same time that I got the Crystal Charizard for 10K. It was the same time. It was at an all-time low pretty much. And I just felt like there wasn't a lot of confidence in Pokemon, but I still had the drive and I still wanted these cards, and I felt like this was my only chance. So this Charizard, I think he had it listed at 25, which I knew was actually pretty fair even at that time. But I was like, dude, there's a 16K sale. Like, where are you getting 25? Which really was just my way of negotiating. It's the unfortunate truth about negotiating. You got to make people feel like their stuff isn't worth as much, even though to me it was priceless. But he was like, I would only do 19 if it was private. Yada, yada, yada. Time goes on. We eventually work out a deal for 18,000. $18,300. It was like I paid some fee or something like that. It ended up being $300 more. But yeah, I cannot believe I picked this up for 18 grand. And I remember he was very confident in the fact that I was not going to find another one. And he might have been right. I probably would not have found another one at this price point. But he was also very confident in the grade. I kept asking him for like more in-depth photos, right? 18,000 on a card. Regardless of what PSA gave it, I was terrified I was going to get ripped off, right? So I'm like, dude, I need tons of photos. And this guy was just like firm as can be. He was like, dude, it's a PSA graded 9. I've been doing sports cards for over a decade. This guy was a sports card nut also. It's the only reason he let go of this card. He received it in a trade for some Michael Jordan rookie. I don't know. But it was a part of a trade deal, so he didn't really need it, but he knew that it was the big honcho of Pokemon. So he was like, dude, look at the grade. It's a PSA 9. Like, it's mint. That's all he gave me. Like, he would not give me additional photos. And you know what? He didn't need to. It ended up being exactly what I had hoped for. Dude, I was jumping for joy when I got this card in and saw the back of it. Because, dude, it's an old cert. It's a really old cert. Like, I did not expect a 2 cert to be as clean as this was. I'm still, to this day, I think this card, I think it would get an 8 or an 8.5, honestly. To be fair, it does have surface scratches, but I've always liked that about the card. It gave it character, and the surface scratches also told a story that the card hadn't been polished or doctored, which is big with me. You guys know I like that. So, but I bet, man, if you polish this fucker up and send it in, this thing would 9 all damn day. So I would like a newer cert, but it is what it is. So yeah, there's those two. We're doing a little story time, guys. Sorry. Turtle, what's good? Yeah, FOMO's tough. Buy the grades, not the card. Chris, I wouldn't have bought from someone who wouldn't send additional pictures, especially the card that expensive. Dude, it blew my mind that this guy, like, straight up, like, I told Diana, I was like, this may be the worst mistake I've ever made, and I need your support because I'm already stressed out making this decision, and this is like all the money that we've got right now. Like, it almost maxed out my credit card at the time. My credit card had a 20K limit at the time, and I put this on credit and paid it off for like 3 months straight. I just grinded. I sold a bunch of sealed stuff, sold a bunch of cards that I liked, a bunch of mid-era. I remember I sold a bunch of mid-era stuff. All of my WotC hollows, which I'm now trying to build back again, on top of having binder sets. But yeah, dude, that was crazy. I couldn't believe that guy would not send me more photos. That was nuts. Okay, but Alakazam. Story on Alakazam. I got a copy, and it had a print line, not a print line. It had a roller line off the press that went through it. It looked like it had a little crease going through it from the factory, but the hollow was perfect. That is a common thing with base set, and every base set card I will look at, including the ones that are remaining, I will be looking for those roller lines. I got this. I sent it back, and it was Quilly Bear cards. He was super, super cool about it. He was really, really nice about it. He took the card back immediately, and I paid him $1,800 or $1,900 for it. It was new cert. And then I went and I bought this old cert for $1,500, and I was so much happier with it. So yeah, I've had a lot of replacing cards in my journey. Here's a modern cert that I was very happy with because it had a surface scratch on it. You guys might not be able to see that, but it has some gnarly surface scratches on it. There it is right there. Long surface scratch. I was very happy to see that. It's a weird thing saying that. Because again, this is a modern cert that was not doctored and polished. If they're going to doctor a card, number one thing somebody doctoring card does is polish the hollow. So when you see a scratched up card, don't think it's the end of the world or that it's a flaw. Just think you have the card and it hasn't been touched by anything. That's a good thing. Are you ever worried about needing to reslab? PSA downgrades the cert. Happened to Jar Chomp apparently. Wait, what? You reslab and PSA downgrades the cert? Happened to Jar Chomp? Wait, how? Also, this was 1900. And I remember my boy Jodo Jake was like, bruh, I cannot believe you dropped 1900 on Chansey, but it's hella nice. And honestly, that was a lot of money for Chansey at the time, but I felt like fair value was like 2500, honestly. And the new cert got me. Are you 239190304 was cert for Umbreon you missed out on? One day. One day. We gotta track down that Umbreon, y'all. We gotta track that Umbreon down. I'm gonna pay a premium for that Umbreon just to get the sequential. Oh, man. They wouldn't honor the previous cert. Bro, do you think this has something to do with the cert? Dude, that's nah. If I ever wanted to reslab this, I would only do it in person at an in-person PSA event. I would only do it in person. Also, I'm very happy with the slab. I actually like the way the old slabs look. I actually really like them. It adds so much character and so much history, especially in PSA's journey. It's cool to see the different certs, the different styles. Like this is like the OG cert, right? And like the centering, the silly centering on the certs too. And then this is the slightly newer cert with better centering, with that little silver label. Yeah, it's kind of fun following that journey. You got the super modern cert. Okay. We got this Hitmonchan recently. I think this guy was 1500. 1500. This guy is a 5 cert and also has a few tiny surface scratches on the hollow. We love to see it. Not doctored, not touched. I feel very like I actually really like old certs for that purpose. This one is really scratched up. This is an old cert that is very scratched up. So I bought this card for 1900 and it had that exact same roller line that the Alakazam had. And I think that deal was also private. And actually, maybe it was over eBay and it was before. Dude, I can't remember what happened. Because I feel like I had a new cert. Yeah, I had a new cert Mewtwo at some point. I don't know how. No, I had a new cert Mewtwo and I think I sold it. For like break even after fees. And then I sold it for like 2200 after buying it for 1900. And then RIP whoever got that copy. And then I hate that. I don't like that you sell these things that are said mint and they have issues with them. I hate passing that along to someone else. It's a horrible thing. And it's just part of the vicious cycle. But yeah, so there was a ex-pro baseball player here in Charlotte, and he I can't remember. He had this on eBay. He had it on eBay for, I think, 15 or 1600. And I was like, damn, that's way cheaper. And I was like, but damn, it's ashy old cert. But I liked the centering on it. It looked okay. The back looked okay. I met him in the grocery parking lot of an Aldi. And he did 1300 and he was like, yeah, I'm putting the money into crypto. And then like a week or two later, he's like, bro, crypto's doing so well. And I was like, dude, I'm happy for you. And I had no doubt that this card would do well long term. And so I was totally fine with cashing him out on it. But yeah, that was a local meetup deal for 1300. I could not believe it was such a good deal for where the market was at, even at that time. This copy has lots of nice scratches on it. Or no, it has a print line, not necessarily scratch. See that print line? So yeah, it has print lines. Some people would be driven mad from that. Me, just gave a character, just told a story. The rest of the holo is good, but it had that print line running through it. I was still happy with it. Again, if this card was doctored, right? I mean, old cert, right? If it was doctored and splooged, you wouldn't see that print line, arguably. That would be kind of filled in and covered up. So, Gyarados, we paid $1,200 for this Gyarados, and it shot up shortly after. I've had great luck with a lot of cards that I bought. I wish I would have moved faster on the Shinings, the first edition Shinings. I wish I would have moved faster on those. But yeah, new cert, Gary. Very tight. Little, you can tell why it got a 9. It was off center. The back was really, really nice on this copy. See if we can get some nicer light on that. Really nice copy, but yeah, it was off center. And you guys know me. I love my off center 9s. I just love them. And let's see if this guy has any scratches. Let's see if I can see any scratches on it. This copy, I don't see any scratches on. So we'll just keep looking. But it does have a curvature to it. You guys should be able to see that curvature where it looks like it was pack fresh. And that is definitely a thing with pack fresh cards where they're slightly curved from all the years and like humidity cycles. I do think this was just a pack fresh copy. My Raichu is the same way. But yeah, this could be, this could be the flawless holos. Definitely could be a doctored card. Even when these things are sitting in the packs, they get scratched up. So yeah, maybe he's just polished a little, but we'll be watching and monitoring all of these cards over the years to see if anything changes. Ninetales was $1,100. Wasn't really a priority. Should have probably been looking at other cards, but we crossed this one off the list. Old cert as well. Felt good about it. This one has some very minor surface scratches over here. You guys might see it, might not. Either way, I was happy with that. We know it has not been touched. Oh, we got Shadowless Machamp right here in a 7 cert. Here is a really special card. And someone actually just reached out about this card, and they were like, I watched a video a while back. This is one of my really old videos talking about this card. But they reached out on eBay, and they're like, do you have that double stamp War Turtle? Because I will pay you for it. And it was nice that someone remembered this card and wanted it that badly. And they didn't freaking recognize the error. And the error is like fucking obvious as day that it's a freaking double stamp right here. You never see that, right? I sold 2 other copies that were in worse condition than this 6. Should have had them graded way sooner. I think a 6 was very fair on this. Honestly, this is like a 4 or a 5, but this was the cleanest copy there was. That was when I bought a trash bag of cards. Dude, that was like, still to this day, the best haul I've ever had in Pokemon was a trash bag full of stuff, dude. That was really just rummaging through garbage. It was great. Definitely will be cautious about the reholder. Hypnotic, the older look is nice. Yo, appreciate you. PSA is very shit for doing that. Like, I don't know how that was legal. I don't even know if he was compensated. Don't think he was. I think Jarchomp has gotten some bad luck for sure, but I don't feel bad because he's crushing it as a vendor. I only seem to care about condition as much as the seller who sold me it did. Unless it's super expensive, the amount of near mint raw dents and shit it shows is staggering. Billy, yo, just tuning in, heading to work, showing your grails. Can we see Erica's Venusaur? We did. I love this War Turtle, by the way, though. This is not leaving the collection ever. Too cool. And then we graded this Yellow Cheeks was picked out of all my Yellow Cheeks. It wasn't even packed fresh, but we picked it out of a stack of... I cannot believe that I sent some random clean Pikachus in. And this guy has to be worth a decent chunk of money right now, honestly. It was a $200 card when I got it graded 10. And it's new cert. And we know it's not doctored or fucked with. Pretty clean. You can definitely see a little bit of whitening on that corner. But yeah, this was a clean copy. This was a good copy. I love this card so much. This to me is a grail. So that was fun. That's probably the best. That's the best grade I've ever gotten on a vintage card. And this, we opened a base set 2. This did come pack fresh, base set 2. So I've lied. I've said that I'd never gotten a PSA 10 pack fresh vintage, but that's not true. This base set 2 Charmander is proof of that. So, and this guy was worth like 150. It might be worth like 250 now, but we don't care about that. It's just a PSA 10 Charmander is sick. Oh, we did get these 2 Gyarados. These were both pack fresh. And then for Billy, we already showed the Erica's Venusaur. We're almost gone through everything. But here's the Venusaur. We paid $4,300, $4,750 for this. And Billy actually was the one who pressed me into picking this up, and thank God he did. This was such a good pickup. I'm so glad I picked that up. But yeah, these 2 Gyarados were both pack fresh. Dude, they're just, the hollow is just like mirror shine. It's just absolutely beautiful. And they were so cheap in PSA 9, I could not bring myself to sell these. So yeah, we just decided to keep them forever. Probably never going to sell them. Hopefully they'll be worth $400 or $500 someday, and that'll make me feel whole on the base set packs we open. But we pulled 2 of these ourselves. That's pretty damn cool. And then this was our jungle opening we did very early on, and I should have graded this card way sooner. I think it would have gotten a 10 had I graded it sooner. But we got a new Cert 9. Oh well, we waited way too long to grade this. That was stupid. Definitely would have been a 10. Damn it. That would have been such low pop, too. Okay. We go over into crystals because we haven't even looked at any of the other crystals. Nidoking, PSA 10. This card was 2,100, and the guy had he had a couple other crystals that were old cert. I should have just bought them all. He had a bunch of old cert 10s. I should have just bought them all. They were all cheap, all of them. But yeah, 2,100. And this was, oh my God, after my whole Nidoking phase. So y'all remember, so I had the Nidoking in a PSA 9, and I wanted to get a piece of dirt off of it. And so my dumbass cracked it. I don't think I damaged it. I still blame PSA for damaging it. I'm pretty sure they damaged it. But I sent it into PSA thinking for sure I'm going to get the 9 again, but it'll be cleaned off. And I got downgraded to an 8. Then I sold the 8 for the highest market price an 8 had sold for, which was crazy. I sold it for like $700, which was nuts. I think I paid $600 or $700 for the 9 originally, or maybe I paid $700 for originally. All I knew is that I had about a $50 net loss after all of that. And then I saw this 10, and I just said, fuck it. I'm buying the 10 because I don't want to deal with this anymore. That was fun. Man, I got wrecked by PSA. That was horrible. Crystal Lugia. This was 3,000, I think, and I literally bought it just because it had that gnarly head swirl, and I loved that. But yeah, I also bought it because it was an 8 cert. It was a kind of newly graded card. You're seeing a line there, but it's from a dent on my little sleeve, which would have been a marking on the slab if I didn't have this cover on there. But trying to see if I can show that where it doesn't show that damn line there. Oh well. But yeah, super clean, really nice. This Lugia is one of my all-time favorite cards. Honestly, I would love to get this in a PSA 10. The reason this is such a special card to me is because when we were visiting Diana's family in Portugal, when we were visiting them in Portugal, I was looking at this card nonstop and just trying to figure out how I could get my hands on one. Never thought I would have a 9. Honestly, I would have been happy with a 5, but I lost an auction and I was really bummed out about it. And I was also looking at an Aquapolis Umbreon. I was looking at Aquapolis Umbreon, and I remember we were on the plane back from Portugal to the US, and I told Diana, I was like, this Aquapolis Umbreon is going to be crazy in the future. Like, if I don't get this now, I'm going to regret it. And it was 1,300 and a 9. It was 1,300 and a 9. I think it was like 3K and a 10. And I just wanted the 9. Man, I wish I would have got that 9. Or no, that was the Skyridge. It was the Skyridge Umbreon. I really wanted the Skyridge Umbreon first. Now, totally different. I want the Aquaplus Umbreon more than any other Umbreon right now. I really want the Aquaplus Umbreon. In fact, my next card I should try and go for should be the Aquaplus Umbreon. I should try and save up some cash. I've been putting Umbreon off way too long. But yeah, we got Ho-Oh right here. I paid $1,800 for the Ho-Oh. I bought a bunch of crystals off of a guy that was a well-known collector in the space, Pokey Pete. He died in a car accident. Absolutely horrible way to... It's just horrible. He was way too young. He was coming home from a show or something and died in a car wreck. It's just horrible. But his memory does live on through some of these cards because these cards were from him. So the Ho-Oh, the Kingdra, my Gold Star Gyarados was from him too. Kingdra was 400, Ho-Oh was 1,800. Celebi I got from a guy in Australia, way below market. He did like 1,500, I think, when it was going for like 2K or 1,800. I couldn't believe it. Insane Swirl, new cert, super clean. I don't see any scratches on it. I'll definitely be monitoring this card in the future to see if anything changes. It is deserving of a 9, though. The corners just have little white dots like that corner right there. So I don't think there's anything too special about that one. This card is doing numbers in PSA 10. This saw way huge growth in PSA 10. Crystal Golem, I paid Pete $500 for. Crobat, I picked up for $700-ish. Was very, very happy with it. Same guy I got the Crobat from. I also got the Nidoking from. Man, that guy has got to be kicking himself right now. These cards are going nuts. And then Kabutops, I also got from Pete. I think it was $500 as well. Okay, let's look at some lower grade stuff. Graded this myself, picked it out near mint back in 2019, 2020. I think it was like $300, and that was like, I got ripped off at the time. It graded an 8. I guarantee if we would have sent this in sooner, I got into grading way too late, guys. One of my one of my biggest regrets in this hobby is getting into grading way late. Because early on, grading was the play. Grading was the play, but it was also a little more legwork. Then it got easy. Everybody started doing it. They started getting harsher, started getting tougher. Anyways, this would have been a 9 in a different light. So instead of selling it, I decided to just keep it because I love Arcanine. Arcanine's like one of my favorite Pokemon. He's sick. And it's a really clean copy. So, but it is what it is. Still a near mint copy. Still graded it myself. So proud of that. This Dark Blastoise we picked up recently at the shop for $400. Really, really happy with it. New cert, clean. I'm pretty worried that this card was doctored at some point, though. Because there ain't a damn surface scratch to be seen on the holo. So, definitely concerned this card got creamed up at some point. Maybe not. You guys know a lot of Pack Fresh cards are getting 8s and 9s. Has a gnarly swirl. The centering is perfect, though. I don't know why they didn't give this a 9, but the back will tell us a different story. So there's some whitening in the middle top edge. Corners have some whitening. This card could have easily been a 9, though. Easily. So I'm very, very curious. Like, if this was a Pack Fresh Dark Blastoise and it got an 8, like, that's what makes this such amazing value. Probably it was just in a binder. The holo's just in nice shape. I just very wary of new cert vintage. But yeah, this is such a dope, clean card. And I wonder if PSA would have some kind of refund for cards that fall apart in the slab. Because that is impossible, right? Unless there's a chemical on the card. Definitely interested to see what you guys think about that. Ishihara GX. Are you talking about the Magikarp? Is that the Magikarp? How much you make owning a bar? I make six figures a year, probably like 130, 140 this year. Was 110 the past year. Nothing a good old scalpel can't fix. Not the Air one, yeah. Best card is Charizard first at 9. Yeah. You remember that video? The OGs remember that video. Scroll down. I like older and newer. We're about to look at some newer stuff. I only have 25% battery, but we're about to get to it. I do not have a collector. I'm not interested in tallying up the value of my stuff, honestly. It's like a strong 9, weak 10 grade. You ever heard of the PSA 8.5 conspiracy? Basically, it's supposed to be a rare grade, but graders use it to make a potential regrade candidate and swoop it up when it shows up on eBay. Very interesting. I always loved 8.5s, and I got a lot of shit for that from some of my friends here that got me into like higher end cards. They were just like 8.5 is a scam, bro. Just get an 8. Blue Hunter. Whenever I go to Japan sometime this year, I might buy some singles there. Should definitely do. Japanese stuff is so dope. Yeah, I got those from Pete. Yeah, Pete was a good guy. Yes, Toto deals. That was Toto deals. Like, dude, just crazy what happened too. We're not going to talk about it because there's probably some other circumstances involved, but yeah, just tragic. I do have other hobbies. Paintball. I like cars. I like to play video games. I like sneakers, but like mainly just cards. Picking up a PSA 9 Crystal Lugia. Nice in JP Unlimited Edition. Super nice in Japanese. That's one thing Pete was big on was Japanese, and he got everybody in his circle into Japanese. So, definitely treading water at the first location of Starlight. We picked up this Expedition Dragonite as well. It has some nice surface scratches, which was a nice, this is a scratch on the sleeve, but it has some, you guys can see some surface scratches right in there. So this card has not been doctored, and of course it's a 53 cert, so of course it hasn't been doctored. But I love this card so much. I love this Dragonite. I'm so happy to have a near mint copy. And yeah, that's, dude, the 8 scratch the itch for me. On the cards I just can't catch up to. This scratches the itch, bro. Like, it's like not financially stressful at all. And it's a placeholder. Dude, speaking of Dragonite, I need to get the first edition Fossil Dragonite eventually. But dude, this Dragonite is so peak, bro. But I'm happy to have one that has a tail swirl. And I got this out of that trash bag collection. I don't know if y'all remember the trash bag collection, just all those WotC hollows. But this was also part of that, dude. That collection for $200 started me off. Like, it built me up. It's what got me into starting vintage binders. And this card also came out of that. And I remember thinking this card is not going to do better than, like, I don't know. This card, I thought it could not do better than like a 4 or a 5. But maybe it's actually not that bad. It's kind of not that bad. But yeah, dude, when I got the 7 on this, I was like, dude, I'm so happy with a 7 on this card. So happy. Lloydo, dude, you're gonna have to catch up, bro. Dude, we have a huge 40-minute video tomorrow that you guys are gonna eat up. It's great. One of my favorite cards all time is that Expedition Dragonite. So good. TRR Dragonite is the best. Dude, all the Dragonites are great. And Dragonite, in my opinion, like, bro, if you look at Dragonite and Zard side by side, like, dude, they're very... Did I skip the Flareon? I skipped the Skyridge Flareon. We graded this ourselves. PSA 7, very happy with it. Skyridge Flareon with a tail swirl. Dude, I love this copy so much. We picked this Power Keepers up, this Zard, for $50. I was very happy with the 8 grade. We graded this before PSA got a lot stricter. We're about to show some modern guides. But, dude, Dragonite is just a derpy Charizard. End of story. Like, dude, the colors are the same. The wing colors are the same. Legend Maker Zard skipped out on Arm Day. You mean Power Keepers. You mean Power Keepers. I think you mean Power Keepers. Okay. This was from, all these cards are the cleanest ones I pulled from my binder, which, as you can see, I didn't have them that clean. Like, my best cards were like 7s and 8s. But yeah, this Espeon's really nice. I would love to get the Umbreon as well. Dude, I could not believe this Pichu got a 9. I was very happy. A modern, unlimited Cert Pichu and a 9. This card is fuego. Would love to have a first ed, but still, this card is fuego. Very clean. Hey, bro. Neo Discovery, Espeon first. Ooh, that's fire. Dark Espeon first ed or Quaplus 10. Which one you taking and why? I personally think I like the Neo Discovery Espeon the most, and I have one posted on my eBay right now that I'm thinking of taking down and just grading it, even if it gets a 7. I just think it's a classic artwork. It looks good. The Dark Espeon is sick. Don't get me wrong. The Dark Espeon's pretty good because you get the full body of that. The Aquaplus Espeon is good too, but I would say the Dark Espeon is probably the best. You get the full body curled up. But the Neo Discovery Espeon, I don't know. You get all that hollow around it too. So I'm gonna go with Neo Discovery Espeon. I also really like the Neo Discovery Umbreon. We got here. Oh, we have the Dog Trio. These are not really worth anything, but they're really cool to me. And I just liked that I pulled these out of the binder, and they're all near mint. We got 7s and 8s. But again, these are placeholders until someday I can get the first ed 9s, which is not like someday. I can buy the first ed 9s now. But I don't know what I'm going to get to that. Dude, there's so many cards I have to catch up on. We picked this up out of the shop for $30. This was such a good buy. Got a PSA 7, was very happy with it. This started the level X grind, and we have a really special level X tomorrow to show you guys. I also picked this one up from the shop for like 20 bucks or 30 bucks. My other level X that also got a 7. Very happy with this. Love myself a good Rayquaza. This Gengar came out of that trash bag collection. Again, just another dope-ass card. Got a 5. Honestly, I'm not even sure if this deserved a 5. Look at that corner. That corner is cooked. It's so cooked. But yeah, I just really, really like the way the hollow shimmers, so I ended up taking it out to grade. That was such a silly card for me to grade, considering I knew it wasn't going to do that well. I just got a bunch of these Ancient Mews, and I realized that getting a 9 is actually not the easiest thing in the world with an Ancient Mew. It's very easy to scratch the surface, and I graded this one myself, bought it for 20 bucks from a shop a long time ago, a shop that I have not been to in ages, guys. I need to start going back to this place because this place is in the ghetto, but they had the best deals on stuff. So I have 3 raw copies right now that I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing with them. Am I sending them to PSA or what? But I'm very happy with this 9 right now, and I would like to get that into 10. The shop had a 10. I passed up on it. Here's another card I like that I graded that's with my grails, even though it's not really a grail. For Alligator EX, y'all don't know. I love For Alligator. He's freaking dope. I really need Shining Gyarados. Really need that. Yep, Charizard with Down syndrome for sure. That's Dragonite. I got to go after the EX eras eventually. Top 3 slabs, Gold Star Ray, first edition Charizard, and probably the Skyridge Gengar. Above the Skyridge Charizard. I think I actually value this card more than the Skyridge Charizard. This was a really big feat. Really big feat. But I also spent a lot more on it. Okay, we have 20% battery left. Let's look. Oh. No, dude, that's going for like 40 right now. Skyridge Gengar is going for like 40K right now. Yeah, first dead Shallow Zard. Okay. We're not even gonna look at the Scarlet Violet stuff, right? We don't need to look at that. I do have a lot of Scarlet Violet cards I graded myself from that ghetto shop. I need to go back to the ghetto shop. Tomorrow, we're going to the ghetto shop. Actually, I think they're closed on Thursdays. Yeah, I think they're closed on Thursdays. Why does that always happen? Every time I want to go to the ghetto shop, they're always closed. All right. All right. We got our modern here, okay? All right, we've got I've got some alt arts that I have on eBay over here, but you guys can see the Tyranitar. I've got the Tyranitar right here. I just didn't want to, it's not in my briefcase. So there's the Tyranitar PSA 10. And then we will go into the other GXs. We have the Magikarp up there. Can I zoom in? I wonder if I can zoom in. Oh, I can zoom in. So you got the Magikarp right there. And what's funny is behind Magikarp is, well, there's Mew, but there's a PSA. You can't see it, but there's a PSA Magikarp edition right behind the Magikarp. So there's the Magikarp. That was a recent pickup. Also, that Gyarados is going to do numbers. I'm telling you right now, Breakpoint Gyarados, I'm about to just take mine off of eBay. Oop, spoiler alert. There may or may not be. Dun, 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 since we're already looking that way. Dun, 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 dun. Yep. That is not a first edition, though. It's just a Shadowless, but still. It's amazing. PSA 10 Shadowless Squirtle. Yeah, we picked that up. Do I regret it? Maybe a little bit. I'm not sure if I'm going to sell it or not. It's a pretty cool card to have. Is it that special? I don't know. But I'm definitely on the fence. Right now, I've decided I'm keeping everything I picked up today, and I'm going to just try and sell other stuff. But, okay, we got Gengar, Mimikyu, right here. We picked that up from my boy for $1,800. That was a steal. And that was when they were going for like 2.2, 2.5. Blastoise Piplup. Picked this up right as things were getting crazy. I think I paid $5.50 for this copy. And now I'm a big fan of Piplup. This Piplup right here from Phantasmal is amazing. Absolutely amazing Piplup. It's just great. So we love us some Piplup. We got the Marshadow Machamp. We also have our Marshadow right here. Love that card. We've got the Giratina Garchomp. Such a sick card. I got this from that ghetto shop for, I think I was $20 or less, and it graded a 10. Dude, the ghetto shop, they just don't grade anything. I need to get back in there. I've probably missed out on so many opportunities not going in there. Greninja Zoroark. I really, really like this card a lot. We also have the Greninja from Twilight Masquerade in a 10 that we graded ourselves. Guys, I had some really good grading comebacks this year. My last one was not good, but I had some really solid submissions before that. Aerodactyl. Okay, so we got Evolving Skies. We got the Moonbreon. We graded all of these ourselves. We got the Rayquaza VMAX.
Ew.
We got Rayquaza V, which I hate the Zinnias in that card. We graded this ourselves when we opened the collection box. That was rough, but at least we got 110 back. I love that card. Love Flareon. Dragonite, such a goat. Umbreon V, PSA 10. Whoa. Whoop. Bought that one for $500. That one hurt. Espeon VMAX, we also bought for $500. That one hurt. Because we got 9s on both of those. This one, we did get a 9 on. We got a 10 on. I've graded 3 of these, and every single one got a 10. This card has been great to me. I don't have any more duplicate copies. We pulled this. We were opening Evolving Skies, and we pulled this and got a 10.
Imagine if you just dropped the briefcase.
Yeah. Leafeon, VMAX, that got a 10. We graded that ourselves. Sylveon VMAX 10. We graded that ourselves. Dude, I haven't looked in these in ages. We pulled this. We pulled this from those terrible heavy hitters Sam's Club boxes. We didn't get shit out of those boxes. This is the only thing we got out of those boxes, and we opened so many of them. That was like $700-800 worth of heavy hitters boxes.
Could you hear him crying in here?
Nope. Lucario promo. Sorry to hear that. Regidrago.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of this Aerodactyl, really.
I'm not a fan of this briefcase.
Do this Dead NA GX. I graded so many of these, and I just could not get a 10 on this. So here it is with a 9. I'm just sticking with the 9 because I really don't care. Oh, I forgot about this guy. Cosmic Eclipse Pikachu. Bought this in a bookstore for $50. Definitely overpaid, and it got a 9, unfortunately. Tornadus. That's a good alt art. This Houndoom Trainer Gallery. A little something light. This Salamence full art. I love this card. Oh, this Charizard VMAX. We did pull this ourselves, and it got a 10. Darkness of the Blazes, only good card. Deoxys VMAX. I think we did grade that. It got a 10. This Giratina V-Star got a 10. Love me some Giratina. Lugia. Oh, so good. So good. Celebration Zard. I remember buying this for $200, and it was kind of like, why did you buy that for $200? But this card is done phenomenally well. You can always count on Charizard reprint. Ooh, this was an awesome card. We picked this up for sub $20 and got a 10 on it. Absolute fire. Again, a ghetto shop find. I need to get back to that ghetto shop. Charizard 10. We pulled this one, and it 10'd. This was a huge comeback story for our modern openings. This was, if y'all remember, this was when I was about to lose all hope on Brilliant Stars. Like, I was down bad. Like, we were at like 12, 13, 14, 1,500 worth of open packs, and finally at the very end we got the Charizard, and then it got a 10. That was a really big win. And I still have the 9 that I bought from my first Collecticon for $90, and it got a PSA 9, and it's a slightly different shade of color from this one, and you can actually tell the difference from this darker shade to that lighter shade. You can see it's a lot lighter. Let's see. We got Blaziken VMAX. I love this card so much. Love this card so much. Like, almost the best Blaziken ever. And we got another VMAX. I graded several of these. They all got 10s. That one's always been good to me, but I sold the duplicates. Same thing with this one. Got multiple 10s, sold those duplicates. Machamp V, we graded this ourselves. Beedrill V, I just bought this. I love this card so much. It's so pretty. Celebi, we graded multiple of these, pulled multiple of these. They all got 10s. This card was so good to me. It was so underrated. It was so cheap for such a long time. That was a big opportunity a lot of people missed. Picked this up from the ghetto shop for like, I don't even know, $13 or some crap. Got a 10. That was back when the getting was good. Blissey, got a 10. I picked that one up for like $10 or $8. Moltres. I really don't like this card because of the trainer in it, but I'm keeping it. I don't know why I'm keeping it. Urshifu. Got some Urshifus. We like this fighting bear a lot. He's sick. Also, this is why Battle Styles is great. That was Brilliant Stars, but both of these come from Battle Styles, and you have the Tyranitar artwork as well. Okay, moving on. Okay, I almost sold this Pokemon Go Mewtwo, and then I was about to list it, and I was like, I can't. It's the only good card in Pokemon Go. Can't let it go. Entei V from Crown Zenith. I still don't have the Suicune, and I still don't have the Raikou. I need to pick those up. Moltres V, we picked that up for $330. Galarian Zapdos, we graded that ourselves. That was a cheap pickup at some point. Empoleon V, we bought that. So also in Brilliant Stars. And then We pulled this out of the only box we have ever opened of Brilliant Stars and got a PSA 10. This and the Charizard from Brilliant Stars. Funny, both acronyms B and S. Look at my dog right now. My dog sleeps like a freaking king in our living room. Freaking king. So yeah, people always ask about security. We have a pit bull that literally just like lives rent free here.
She also doesn't like strangers.
Love this Deoxys from Crown Zenith. Crown Zenith was peak. Rapidash. Man, it was just like yesterday we were opening Crown Zenith. Latias. That was a really nice one. Pulled that one. Graded ourselves. This one's nice. I'm pretty sure we pulled that one, but I can't remember. Bought this one at the shop. Graded that ourselves. Graded this ourselves. I knew that it wasn't going to get a 10, but I'm just happy to have one. I'm not that crazy about this Gengar. You guys know I'm not that crazy about that Gengar. I don't know why. My favorite card in Crown Zenith, the Pikachu, just looks stunning. Such a beautiful card. The Radiant cards are pretty good, honestly, from Pogo. Best card in Fusion Strike, in my opinion, is this guy right here. Graded that ourselves. Graded this one ourselves. Very vibrant, very pretty. And then the Big Kahuna, one of my favorite modern cards ever, the Giratina V. This is such a good card. Picked this up raw, graded it ourselves. What a comeback story. And the story is even deeper with this one. The first Collecticon I ever went to, RF Collectibles is a legend. He had 100 of these, right? Like, I just can't believe how many he had. And he had Lugias and he had Brilliant Stars Charizards, and I got to just thumb through them and pick out the best copy. And it was only because he knew me from YouTube. I felt so honored and humbled that this guy that seemed like a lot bigger of a person in the space than I did was willing to let me thumb through all the copies. I would never let someone thumb through all the copies and pick out the best one. That's just me. I would never let someone do that. I felt a lot of respect and appreciation being in this community from RF Collectibles. And if I ever see him at a show, I'm just going to let him know how much this card meant to me. That is that. We have 15% left. If you guys want to see the Scarlet Violet Ultra Modern briefcase, you can get the Ultra Modern briefcase out. Oh. And then we have our sealed collection in the closet, but that's not really that cool. My phone's going to die in 15%. We have not dusted this one off in a minute. Oh. I forgot about these. Look at all these PSA 10 Salamence. It's so great. Oh, 18. I have 18 PSA 10 Salamence here. It's so good. It's so good. Oh, it's so good. Ah. Best card in Scarlet Violet right here. You heard it. I've only been saying it for years now. That was so much good. I don't even know what I just said. I just said that was so much good. That's great. Good times. Oh, that watered down whiskey really hits the spot. Salamence salami, dude. Dead ass, dude. This is like a salami. Cornering the market. There's only like 7,000 more of them. I contemplated just buying more too. I still contemplate buying more. I'm sick. That was the dumbest shit. The dumbest shit. And it's going to come back, but like I can't believe how long that play has been drawn out. I have so many PSA 9s I can't sell. 12 PSA 9s I can't sell. Okay. I did because they were 200, 220, 180. All right. I really want this card in PSA 10. Like, desperately. I really want this card in PSA 10, but the 9 will do for now. Execute. I just bought this guy when I was in my modern IR phase. We graded this guy. This guy I picked up from the ghetto shop for $10. I got a 10. We sold that thing so quick. I don't know why I picked this up. I picked it up more for Teddy Ursa than Ursa Luna, honestly. We graded this one ourselves. We pulled this from 151. We graded this ourselves. It's a nice $10 card. Ticketani X, also a $10 card. We graded ourselves. Dude, the ghetto shop had so much good stuff. This Drowsy is a 9, but I kept him because I like that Drowsy a lot. Ooh, these are all 9s that I kept. Forgot what was even here. I just like these. Swablu, Grottle. Really like the Snow Runt a lot. I have this in a 10, but we got Charmander, Riolu. Great reason to open Scarlet Violet base. And a Wailord 9. I still need the Wailord in a 10. I can't believe I still don't have that in a 10. I really like this for Alligator. And I have another one over here, Raw. Also, you can see the Fukuda for Alligator behind him. That is one of the... Can't really... Sorry, guys. The Fukuda for Alligator right there is such a good card. That one's like a PSA 6, but sorry about that. That's got to hurt people's heads. Anyways, I love this card a lot. I just think it's cool. Cleffa, we picked this up from the ghetto shop. I cannot believe it got a 10. I got to go back to the ghetto. This Latias EX, I paid $5.54, and then it just tanked in value. Another card that I was a heavy believer in. And I still have my 9 over there too. But this Latios, we got a 10 on. I got that from the ghetto shop. This card was so easy for me to grade. I graded 3 of these, and they all came back 10s. That was good times. Kept the one. This Horsey is beautiful. Ninetales, we picked that up. Actually, I think we pulled this Ninetales. I think we pulled that. Pidgey, the Pidgey line is so good from Obsidian. It's so good. So beautiful. This pick is doing numbers. We had a couple of them. We only got the one now. We traded it for the vintage. Love this Houndoom. Really want the Houndour. Gardevoir, we pulled that one. Miriam, we got that from the ghetto shop. Pinsir, got that from the ghetto shop for cheap. Got this from the ghetto shop for cheap. Blitzel, we got from the ghetto for cheap. Same thing here, cheap, like $7, $10, something like that. Love this Fampy, got that cheap. Dude, that shop has been so good to me. I'm looking at all these cards, like I got most of these from the shop. Magby, Diana's getting upset.
I'm going to bed.
This Meryl was huge. It was huge. Babe, I didn't realize how much fun I was going to have this stream. I never had this much fun.
I heard you laughing about your graded 10.
And we still got both the Van Gogh pickers. We holding, fam. We hodling. I still, and we've got the Van Gogh card over there next to the PP up. I still think this is such a special card. I think it's stupid what happened with the whole release, but if I see these and they're even semi-affordable, someone can give me a deal on them, they just want to get out of it, dude, I would buy so many copies. I believe in this card heavily. I would buy this card to the end. This card is amazing. Absolutely amazing. I just love that Van Gogh pick so much. This Heracross is also dope. I picked this guy up. I was kind of privy to some of the IRs to pick up. Raichu I picked up. Did not want to miss out on him. This Eevee we got from the ghetto shop and graded ourselves. I'm so happy this got a 10.
Damn, those Pikachu Hingos are expensive.
Yes, they are.
I had someone here in Charlotte's trying to get rid of them. Okay.
Damn, yeah.
There's only another one in Gastonia. It's 2000.
Ooh, shenanigans.
$3K.
Might as well frame it like an art piece.
Right?
These guys I got from the shop for cheap. Oh, I love these pickups. I love Pikachu pickups. Again, I literally picked this up for Jigglypuff. You think I give a damn about the trainer? No, this card is literally an SIR for Jigglypuff.
I love
Also,
pink.
also proof that I'm a Jigglypuff fan. I don't know why I care so much about proving that. Scizor, we picked up 2 of these from the shop just now. This card is apparently hard to grade. The 2 that I have are dumb off-center. Not Facebook Marketplace. Dude, Facebook Marketplace is the worst. Honestly, the worst. Everyone's like, $1, send me your offers. Like, bro, I don't have fucking time to send you offers. There's nobody actually selling stuff like for decent. Facebook Marketplace is cooked for Pokemon. So much better off going to the shop. I'm late. I'm going to rewatch, but just fun. Make your best argument against buying Evolving Skies. I have none. Evolving Skies is king. Always. Also, another spoiler alert, guys. We picked this up today. New Cert PSA 8 Dark Vaporeon from Legendary Collection. It's gorgeous. Goes with my Vaporeon. It's perfect. Doesn't have to be PSA 10. Lana's 8 I bought just for the Corphish. Can we get a Corphish SIR?
I have these.
I do really want that poncho. I want that poncho so bad. 12K is still good. I would still pay 12K for that. It was 5K, but I would pay 12K. I know. Me not having poncho raised. There's a lot of Rayquazas I need.
That's something Aspen
Like,
would like.
Caterpie. We pulled that. This I bought from the shop and it graded a 10. I've had some luck. Now, granted, I have also bought a ton of cards from the shop. Bought this one from the shop near us now. And I remember overpaying for it and being like, dude, this thing better fucking 10. And it did. Got a 10. This is such a badass card. Carries Paradox Rift. Carries. Dude, the Persian. This looks so good. This looks so freaking good. Especially with the Giovanni's Charisma. Now I need to get the Meowth graded. I need the Destined Rivals, or the Phantasmal Meowths to grade. I just like Penny because it has the Umbreon in it. That's literally the only reason I like the Penny. I don't want her in the card, but it has that Umbreon looking up, and it's like a little Umbreon Modern SIR. And it was like $5. That was the cheapest SIR I think I've ever bought. Do you have anything from Team Rocket Returns? I do. We already showed it, though. Skeledurge EX. We like that. Iono. I'm pretty sure my wife likes that. Apparently, I need to get Aspen this plushie.
That's so cute. She
Damn,
loves that.
set of 8, and they're from Japan? Yeah, we might need to get those.
Those are so cute.
We need a Dragonite plushie. Also,
Aspen's
that Growlithe
obsessed.
plushie is great.
Aspen's obsessed with that Pokemon.
Iono is pretty sick.
Dragonite.
That was so hype when Paldea Evolved came out. It was all about the Iono. Nobody gives a shit about the cards, about the Pokemon. Steelix, the Steelix is dope. I picked that up for I think $100. This Garchomp is dope. I picked this up for like 70-ish, 80-ish. Miraidon. I saw a Corridon today. Guys, I saw a Corridon 10 at this other shop today, and I almost picked it up just to show you guys how much of a joke it was. It was a Modern Cert 10, and the whole corner was like cut clean off. It was the craziest shit. We were laughing our asses off in the shop today over that card. I like that other shop. It's a hole in the wall, but I like it a lot more because they're actually like fun to be around. I feel like the other shop that I go to that like actually has a lot of shit, they're just, I don't know. I feel like they're tired of seeing me. Like, honestly, I just feel like they're tired of seeing me. My wife's like, they're just jealous. I'm like, no, I think they're just tired of seeing me.
No, they're definitely jealous of you.
Charizard EX, we pulled this ourselves. It got a 10. Booyah. Charmeleon, we still haven't replaced for a 10. My battery is at 9%. We had to buy this Charmander. Unfortunately, we could not get that to 10. We did get the Venusaur to 10. And we had multiples of these, but we had to sell our duplicates. We did get the Ivysaur to 10. We had to buy our Bulbasaur, unfortunately. We had like 4 or 5 Blastoise EX, maybe even 7 at one point. This card grades so easy if it has a clean back. At least in my opinion. So clean. Babe, you're giving me the chills. Give me the chills right now, bro.
I'm sorry. Stop it.
War Turtle, we still need to replace. God, I still haven't replaced these, bro. What am I doing? I guess I'm waiting for the shop to have some. Squirtle, we need to replace. Damn, I really need to replace these. We had so many Zapdos, but we sold them all. This is the only one we have left. Ooh, I'm proud of these two. Both pulled, both full arts. Charizard and the Mewtwo. This Charizard is so freaking nice, too, for a full art.
On this wall.
This Bulbasaur we got from the shop, super cheap. Oh, it looks so good. So good. Oh, we still have our other Charizards that we pulled. These are all from our 151 opening days, and we still have 3 more. I literally completely forgot about these. So, the Sunzard. The Sunzard. You're welcome. I don't know why I'm keeping these 9s, though. Like, what am I doing with some of these modern 9s? I think I'm just... I know they'll be worth something. And this might have had a lift. It might have had a lift. Don't judge me. Don't judge me, bro. Okay?
Now you just need to do that video, but on Reels on
Ish.
Instagram.
Ish. Dude, my... Oh, my whole tin of Pickas just fell out. My Pickas went everywhere. Oh. That is why the briefcases never move. Oh, dude. So many Pikachus. Pikachu! And this Pikachu's. All right, let's... Oh, I got some Evolving Skies Pickas in there, too. Ooh, and there's a dope Evolving Skies Raichu, too. And then we've got our vintage binders. Duh, they're still here. I didn't get rid of them. They're just slacking. And then this is where all the Salamence EX 9s are. Dude, I have so much stuff that I'm just never going to be able to cash out on. Like, no chance. No chance. And without showing you guys what's over there, go through my current grading pile without showing you some other goods that we're waiting for tomorrow to see. I'm really, really excited for this Charizard sticker. That's going to be good. In fact, let's put this updated grading stack. All right. We got the One Piece Shanks. That Gardevoir, which, okay, somebody was saying this was mad off-center. Where? What am I missing here? Is it really off-center? Shit is not off-center. This shit is clean as fuck. Like, I'm not, nah. No, somebody's tripping. Somebody's tripping. That shit's clean. Bruh, dude, this pick is so clean. I do have a Game Boy SP. I have a lot of Game Boys. I went through a Game Boy phase. I've got Game Boys up here that are still in the box. I got Game Boys up there. There's the Southern Islands collection up there. Oh, yeah, we got some rainbows up here. Oh, yeah, the Fat Pika. I love that card so much. The Salamence. There's the base set 2 Pidgey. They got a 9. Oh, man, all of the... a random Magikarp artwork. I don't even know what's back there. And then we got all of the Game Boy games. You can see, dude, this whole thing is hanging on by a thread. We got the Game Boy games back there. Try not to knock everything over. We got Heart Gold in the back. Soul Silver. We got Pokemon Yellow. We got this rare Game Boy right here. Fortress sent me this shiny Ray. The only one I don't have is a Pokemon Red cart. I have everything, the pamphlets, everything. I just don't have the cart. So, and those, dude, Game Boy games just are not doing anything. That was also not my best work was the Game Boy games because those carts are still cheap. Yeah, we got Pokemon Blue behind that. We got another nice minty SP over here. There's the gift Diana got me. That thing's pretty badass. Ink Blot, some artist did these for me. Pretty cool. Yeah, good stuff. We got to get into... Ooh, gosh. Sorry about that, guys. Good Lord. Oh, we have this one coming in. We have another one of these coming in. I'm excited to put on my eBay. That thing is going to go quick. Okay. Back to the... I have 5%. We got Typhlosion. I'm going to grade that Typhlosion. I'm going to grade that. I'm going to grade this. I'm going to grade this. This is probably not a good idea to grade. This is probably not going to grade well. I have definitely taken a dose of reality. I don't know, actually, it's pretty good. Right side is a little thin, though. And that's like, I am growing, guys. I'm understanding that shit is not going to fly. But I might try and get that graded anyways. Also, there's like the strategies of like send crappy cards with your nice cards. I don't buy into that bullshit. I do not buy into that bullshit. I don't care what anybody says. I'm just going to send these all in and we're going to see what happens this time. That's all we're going to do. It's what we always do. What I might do is break it down though into 30 card, 20 card subs. So that way they don't fucking wreck me. Because I know they don't want to see all this vintage coming in. I know, like, and like, you don't even know what they're thinking, right? Like, people assume way too much, I feel like, with PSA. Those Sceptiles, I know those aren't going to be great to grade. We're going to get a lot of 7s and 8s, but I literally don't care. Like, some of these I just want to be encapsulated. That Nidoking, I definitely want to be encapsulated. Skyridge Houndoom. Power Keeper's Houndoom. Sandstorm. Eevees. Ooh, this one's a good one. This one's a good one. Not much going on there as far as a holo. But, and honestly, pretty cheap in like a PSA 9. So, maybe not even worth it. But. Okay. Legend Maker Ghastly. Dragonite. Charmeleon. 4% battery. Oh my god. Oh, dude, I'm so excited for the fossil Raichu. This Wigglytuff I added today. That shit's mint. Misty's Golduck, which I know is going to be an 8 probably. This Dark Raichu is probably going to get an 8 as well. This one might get a 9. Potentially a 10. Nah, that would be a 9. That would be a 9 for sure. Still, I think it'd be worth getting that card graded. Jolteon. It's pretty damn clean. Again, it's not just the value now. It's that these are going to go up in value. They're going to go up in value. By the time I get these cards back, the whole market's going to shift, you know? And we are all caught up. Dude, I can't wait for that Flareon. This one I have listed on eBay, but it has a head swirl. And now I'm having second thoughts about having it on eBay. Because even if this got an 8, the head swirl is so freaking cool. And honestly, it's clean enough. It should get a 9, but that corner is a little weird. You guys see that little lift right there? It's a little weird. I'm thinking they would probably not give it a 9 because of that. But it has that really nice head swirl. So excited for this, even though it's probably going to get a 6. Very excited for that. Just because it's so low pop, it's so cool. Oh God. I'm so tired. Work week starts back up tomorrow. Oh man, tomorrow's upload. I'm so stoked to make that upload tomorrow. It's gonna be sick. And maybe I'll give that ghetto shop a call and I'll see if they're open. Because maybe they changed their hours and stuff. No idea what any of that stuff would all be worth together. Have you noticed that vintage cards are becoming expensive recently? Yeah, very expensive. Um, my fave game, probably like Fire Red, just like good memories. Fire Red, Sapphire, Ruby, Emerald. Um, what percentage of your net worth roughly do you think is in Pokemon? Way too much. In fact, I would say half of my entire net worth. I would say half of it is I mean, because the other net worth is derived from the equity in this house and the equity in my other house. And right now, I would say Pokemon is actually higher equity and value than the houses. So probably like 75%. 75% of my net worth is probably Pokemon. Yeah, it's crazy. I've never crunched the numbers though, but I know like roughly just throwing numbers around on my calculator with just my vintage slabs and my sealed product, not any of my modern slabs. Somewhere no, I calculated modern too. My sword and shield in my tag teams. So I think it was like 80 for my sword and shield and tag teams, and that was month 2, 3, 4 months ago. And then it was like 500 for my vintage, or maybe it was like 250, 300. I have no idea, guys. I have no idea. Um, there's definitely a consistency with putting bad cards at or near the back. If you think it will 8, remove them from pile and sell on eBay. I know. I feel like even, for example, I have 3% battery. We can make it though. This Heracross, for example, PSA 8. Someone just sent me an offer today for $65. That's a strong offer for a PSA 8 unlimited Heracross. That's just the beginning. People are not going to be able to afford first edition. Then they're not going to be able to afford 9s. Then they're not going to be able to afford first edition 8s. People are going to want higher grades. They're going to go to unlimiteds. People who are new are not going to even know the difference. They're going to go to unlimiteds. I think it would be wise for anybody grading cards to take a 7 or an 8 for unlimited cards as a future win. We don't know what is going to happen with grading. We don't know how expensive grading is going to be. Grading could somehow blow our minds and become $30 to grade a card. If something like that happens, much better to go ahead and grade now. Much better. If you're going to do it, go ahead and do it. But you guys know me. I've always just graded some stuff just because I wanted to. And like this Heracross is still a great example. I have absolutely no regrets grading this card. I wanted to grade it. It's fun to grade it. It's still a near mint copy. And I love it. And every time someone sends me an offer on it, I'm probably just going to, like, especially if it was, because I think the offer is 65. I had it for 75. So I probably should take 65, but nope. I just raised it to 85 and waited out even longer because I value this card higher than what probably the market or others value it at. Man, dude, I really wanted to get this card in first edition PSA 10. That one's going to hurt. But I can get a 9 of that one. That's what I will. Did not check. Okay, what's the deal with the Nintendo error? Tell me real quick, because I looked at the bottom and they all say Nintendo. So Doherty, yo, it's good, bro. We just had a crazy long live. PSA 9 is $100. Yeah, crack the 8 and sell raw. Nintendo versus Nintendo. Okay, so you want it to say Nintendo. Yeah, so they all say Nintendo, but hold on. Hold that thought, because I might as well check and see. Nintendo, yeah, no error. No error. But before going through any collection, I really should get better versed on errors in general. Um, Dude, but there's like no rush to sell nice cards though right now. Like prices just keep going up. The offers just keep getting higher. It's just like if you can afford to just work, make money, and spend it and accumulate more cards, it's almost better to just do that. Like I feel no pressure whatsoever, except for my credit card debt, which is kind of crippling. Um, anyways, dude, I have some stuff. I cannot wait for you guys to see it for tomorrow's video. You have no idea how hard it was to hold it back this video, this stream. What I will say is you guys got to see the Legendary Collection, Vaporeon, the first edition Snorlax, and you saw that I got a Shadowless PSA 10 Squirtle, which I need to figure out what I'm doing with because I got all of that stuff way under market. I'm like so stoked with what I paid for everything. I need to figure out what I'm doing with it. But like, dude, it's a Shadowless Squirtle. It's PSA 10. It's like kind of hard to let go of. I'm never gonna get a first dead PSA 10 Squirtle. So a Shadowless Squirtle and a 10 that just happened to fumble into my life. Like, I don't know. That's kind of sick. Anyways, join the Discord. If you're not a part of the Discord, my phone's gonna die soon. I will catch up with you guys in the Discord right after. Anyways, yeah, no shit. It's time to hold. Dude, we're all learning. There's no like dumb move. We're all learning. We're all learning. And I'm a degenerate. The only reason I have this stuff is because I'm a degenerate. That is the only reason. I started collecting decks. Remember that? God, how far we've come. And dude, some of my favorite stuff like this, dude. Master Trainer, dude, so much fun. Not that I've ever really played, other than like one time with Diana. Dude, I just, yeah, love the games, the toys. We have some action figures coming. Really excited for it. Or some figurines coming, I guess I should say. Anyways, I got some big decks. I got some big decks for sure. Anyways, I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Seriously, like, feel super humbled to have any kind of following, any kind of friendship, any kind of subscriber base. I'm like, God damn, dude, we come so far. And we're stepping it up this year. We're doing clips this year, guys. We're doing clips this year, right? We're editing in stuff this year. All right. Dude, I'm definitely accidentally Poke Rich. Like, and I made so many bad decisions along the way that I could only afford to do because I have a decent income. Like, if I had half the income I have, I wouldn't have half the collection I have. So a lot of it is not like my skill as a collector or any of that. And most of you that are OGs already know that. It is luck, it is FOMO, it is irrational, irresponsible behavior. It's all of those things. So a lot of stuff that I shouldn't be proud of, and very irresponsible. But thank God things worked out, and now it's like a cool mainstream thing. Anyways, guys, peace out. I'll see you guys next time. It's a good stream. It's a really good stream. I appreciate y'all. Deuce. Y'all, get some sleep. I'm not going to get some sleep. I'm going to go play video games and check the Discord. Join the Discord.